Hello, everybody. I hope you are well and welcome to this new edition of GM Web3, like every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday morning live. We cover blockchain news and welcome key players in the ecosystem. Today I am with Joaquim, co-founder of Gaupa Labs and huge contributor on MultiversX ecosystem. Hello, Joaquim. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for this lovely intro. I'm well, haven't slept much, but I'm here and excited about today's space.
How long have you slept?
I don't know, like 4 or 5 hours.
Okay. Same here. I went to bed yesterday at 4 and I woke up this morning at 8. So yeah, makes 4 hours. That's largely enough, Joachim, for what we for what we do in Web3. Uh, I am also with Philip, founder of CryptoBay and also huge contributor of MultiversX ecosystem and X Alliance, which Joachim is member too. Hello, Philippe. What's up?
Hey, Jerome. Hey, Joachim, everybody. I'm fine. I'm not having any more hours. I think on a sleeping count here. The last days have been kind of strange, but a lot of progress. Also enjoy this weekend with some friends, so I didn't sleep neither. But yeah, like you say, we don't need to sleep so much. That's the advantage also in home office. You can look so retired in front of your computer, so you're still fine. So excited to be there today. That will be a nice discussion. I see a lot of people in the audience, so let's get started. That's true.
Yeah, definitely. What are you working on, Philippe?
Still video, to be honest. Our new microphone didn't arrive. It should arrive today, so I can start to record. But otherwise, I'm more like managing scripts, like writing like different videos, creating graphics, and the idea is like to simplify the creation of video for the future for different subjects, not only MultiversX but also blockchain, and to show the advantage of technology. Like that could be regarding the NFTs that we'll maybe discuss later. That could be also regarding the token standard. Is it contract based, protocol based? And there's a lot of aspect and discussion on Twitter that could be easily resolved or at least like simplified with posting a video or short instead of having long discussion that are hard to concretize without graphic and explanation in image. So I try to create that kind of content. Take some time to do it properly, but I'm on it.
Okay, no video last week.
No, last week, but I started to work on the ESDT standard, explaining what's the ESDT standard on MultiversX. But at the end, the video is like turning more on what are tokens on blockchain and making a comparison between contract-based and protocol-based. So yeah, it takes a little more time to do. So at the end, there will be two kind of videos. I think the long one, like the one that I'm currently working on, that take more time than expected, and the short one that will be maybe just a live that will be compiled and mounted. Or maybe just a tutorial like create an ESDT and brand it. Like that's the kind of video that can be done in 1 or 2 days. While some that need graphics, movement, animation, and be sure that you don't say something wrong or something that will be wrong in the future, it takes some more time. So, I'm preparing everything on Notion. I have everything set up. So it's something important that people want to create content. You need to organize your work properly. That means you need to prepare like what video you want to do, the big menu, the big plan of the video, then the different script and emails that will appear on the screen. And the more you prepare, in fact, this work, the more the montage will be easier and straightforward. So it's yeah, you know me, I'm trying to doing stuff well and properly. So it takes some time. Maybe that's one of my problem. Maybe I boil too much before to finish the dish, but usually the dish is good. So voilà.
Okay.
I try to get better on that. Otherwise, maybe I would just try to reduce the.
Oh, we lost you, Philippe. We've been rugged by X, and we receive Daniel Veroc. Hello, Daniel. What's up?
What's up, guys? Nice to see you. Nice to hear you here.
Yeah,
Thank you.
same. What time is it where you are?
You mean time zone?
Yeah.
I'm 10 Central Time, Prague, Europe.
Oh, okay. So we have the same time zone. Okay, sounds good.
Yes.
It's a
But
huge pleasure to have you this morning on GM Web3. Your first time with me in a space. We've been trying to organize this for weeks now, and I'm very happy because we will, of course, speak about the EGLDSqueeze movement that you and your friends initiated. So thanks for being here. Just to let me know, because we have many topics to speak about this morning. Until when are you available, Daniel, this morning? Just for me to know how to organize the different topics.
yeah, thank you so much. I will be here. I will listen you guys, and if you will have any question about the movement or the plans or whatever, we can actually discuss it.
I mean,
Wow.
do you have a little time? Because I would like to start with the Web3 news for maybe 25, 30 minutes. And just after we can move on
Oh,
with
yeah, I
EGLD
got it. I
squeeze. Is
got
it
it.
okay for you?
Yeah, I got it. It's completely okay. Just let me know on Twitter, and
Okay.
I will maybe leave now because I have 100 employees and they still need
Okay. So
something. So I must.
come back in 25 minutes. Okay.
Okay, I will try it.
If you
Okay,
have
man.
things to do in the meantime.
Yes. Thank you so much. Have
Okay.
a nice day.
See ya,
Bye.
Daniel.
See
See
you.
ya.
See you. See you.
So, of course, I remind you that you will be able to find the replay of this Twitter space on every podcast platforms, but also on Seaborg app and on our YouTube channel. And I recommend you, of course, to follow us on all our channels. It helps a lot for us to make our Twitter space known by more and more people. Last but not least, don't forget to like, repost, and comment this Twitter space to bring more people with us this morning. Here is the program. First of all, as I was just saying, we will speak about the EGLDSqueeze movement, which is an unprecedented purchase movement around EGLD and MultiversX ecosystem. So we'll speak about it with the initiator, Daniel Veroc. After first we'll speak about the Web3 news, of course. After we'll speak about the EGLDSqueeze movement. After that, we'll speak about what we discovered yesterday around Royalties gestion by XOXNO, the new royalties gestion. It makes speak a lot yesterday in the evening. So I will be happy to have all of your opinion about this. And at the end of the space, Joaquim will offer us a column about Web3 gaming around Apple and Epic Games. So yeah, it will be very, very interesting. So first of all, guys, if you agree, we'll start by the news of the week, we can say. So I took different news I found. If you think about anything else or any other news I would forgot, feel free to raise your hand. Feel free to write it in the comment. Feel free to come and speak and take the mic with us. It's an interactive Twitter space like all of them. It's also your space, so feel free to come and join us to speak about Web3, blockchain, and crypto. So first news, I think it's important. I don't know if some of you are in Brussels for ETHCC, the biggest Ethereum event in Europe, because currently are taking place in Brussels. A number of assaults have taken place. So many calls for vigilance and discretion are being made on Twitter and by the event organizers. So I don't know if you heard about this, but I think it's really risky in Brussels to like let people know that you own crypto. Seems like it was organized by a few, I don't know, like groups or people, or I don't know, wanted to steal and assault people around the event. Joaquim, Philippe, you are in crypto for years now. Have you ever been victim of such aggression or something because of your crypto holdings? Yeah, Philippe?
No, personally, I mean, I know nobody that have been attacked or anything regarding crypto. I mean, like, it could happen. I think it happened mostly for people that are publicly visible, like Asher.
Yeah, definitely it happened to him. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, like, when you're public, when you're visible, when you are, that's also the reason why when you start to have some audience, you need to delay your tweet, to don't show where you are, at which moment, with whom you are. I mean, that's something that is difficult to manage at this level. But, it's something that also, like, when you are not known, you need to take care. I mean, like, that remind me, like, the joke about the hat ledger, where you can put your ledger inside. That's the kind of thing that people should take care of. It's one of the problematic, if you want, of having a wallet on your pocket that have access to all your funds. I mean, for example, when I travel on holiday, and after I will leave you Joaquim say what he want, but me, for example, when I live on holiday, I don't take my ledgers. My ledgers are stuck somewhere, and I don't have access to that. I mean, me personally, nothing happened to me. I know no one, but if you heard the news, I mean, regarding Asher, also there was a young guy that have been found in a field, half naked, burned with cigarette. They tried to take him 200K in Bitcoin. I mean, people should take care of that, should not talk too much. I'm not talking about how much crypto I own.
Yeah.
And everyone should do the same. Joaquim, what's your policy regarding that?
Yeah, I think you've raised my go-to strategies, which is like you don't show your wealth. I mean, it's crypto or other things. It's like very expensive watches and stuff like that. Like you wear certain things or talk about certain things in very small committees, sadly, because of, well, people might, as you say, steal from you, or even worse. That's the thing, right? Losing money is obviously a terrible thing, but way worse things could happen because of that. So I walk around with like close to nothing on my mobile wallets, etc. on
Yeah, you're
purpose.
wearing only merch clothes. So that's
Yeah, so that is the thing actually. That is the thing. I wear merch clothes of projects that aren't very well known. I wouldn't, for example, I have a sweater Bored Ape Yacht Club, in a partnership with Adidas. And I don't own a Bored Ape Yacht Club, just as FYI. But like, I never wear it. I just keep it as memorabilia because, like, again, I don't want to go out and like come back late at night and walking with a sweater that says, "Oh, I know about or I own," assets are worth several tens, if not hundreds of thousands. So yeah, I wear Gaupa Labs, and no one knows what Gaupa Labs is in the real world.
not yet.
So I feel pretty safe. Not yet,
brother. Yeah,
but it's never going to be a wealth signal anyway to wear Gaupa Lab merch. So don't worry. If you get Gaupa's merch, you can wear it proudly.
Okay, but what's new and is that it's happening on the sideline of a crypto event. So unknown and unexposed people have been attacked, which shows that the attackers have prepared their attack. Philippe?
Yeah, so just to quickly bounce from that, I think I'm going to give another example. The World Series of Poker, which are actually taking place right now in Las Vegas, we're famously known for having people waiting in the car park for when tournament winners would come out, because they have a tendency to pay out in cash. They can also do wires, but it's a bit more complicated. So a lot of people take cash. So there's been quite a few cases of robberies right outside the casino. So I feel like it's everything that relates around money will sadly have bad actors be around too.
Philippe?
Yeah, and one thing really important for everyone listening to us right now, when you go to a crypto event and you receive a big card with the name of your company, with a big crypto logo on it, and things like that, when you go out of the event, remove this plant and put it in your pocket. I mean, because that's definitely a sign that you own crypto. And I think it's maybe how they are, let's say, targeting people around the ETHCC, because people get out of the event, take the subway with that, and they just get followed. I mean, after, even if you have only $500 on your wallet, even if, like if some people listen to us and they want to take crypto from people, you cannot do anything out of them because they will be traced. That's not the problem. But I think the big paper that you get, you know, with the QR code, your name and your company, these things is really dangerous. It's a big target on people getting out of the event.
Definitely. Thank you, guys. So be careful, everyone. Let's speak about, meme coins promotion, that we see that celebrities continue to promote meme coins. So now it's the turn of the celebrity footballers, Lionel Messi and Ronaldinho, to promote Water Coin on Solana on their Instagram accounts. The meme coin claims to work to solve water-related problems and become a charity-focused environmental crypto. So I think you've observed all these celebrities promoting meme coins this last weeks. Now it's Lionel Messi and Ronaldinho. What do you think about this movement, we can say?
So I think we should call a spade a spade. Like, it's not about meme coins, shitcoins, etc. It's pump and dumps, right? The reasons most of those influencers get paid shitloads of money to make a Twitter post or Instagram post about a cryptocurrency is because they realize that the amount they have to pay for that influencer, footballer, whatever, is less than what they can make out of the audience that person has. So yeah, there's no, I don't believe that, in the case of Messi, I haven't dig deeper, but like did it from the bottom of his heart because he believed this is the cryptocurrency that is going to change the world. But rather he sadly probably received a very nice, paycheck. I always find it funny that we see people, like we saw the Kardashians, we saw a lot of people that don't need that money. We're not talking about people who are desperate for money. We're talking about people who are already living a very comfortable life and can't seem to say no, even if it means screwing over their community for a bit extra.
Philip?
If I can add something to that, I mean, I think you're on the right, Joaquim. But the thing is, like, these people, I mean, they need like the visibility. I mean, like, in fact, the trend and all the energy and all the people that come around and the visibility that you get when you support a meme coin from a community that you're usually not exposed to. So if you took Lionel Messi, he has some fan maybe in the crypto, but it's mostly people who are watching football that follow him. By doing that, in fact, he can aggregate more people and increase his number of followers. I mean, so on that, I think they have in any case something to win. Unfortunately, they have, it's like every company, they need to continually growing. So, and the growth of an influencer is measured by the number of followers. But I think that's why they're doing it. After, I think it's sad because it's something, that discredits a little the ecosystem. I mean, if something really is built behind, I would say yes, but I mean, I didn't dig enough to give credit or not to that project. But just to resolve water problem with a cryptocurrency, that seems like the worst red flag ever. But yeah, no, I think it's a problematic, and what we need to check, I think, and I don't know if you had time to check on that, Jerem. Do you know in which country they are based, these people, Messi and Ronaldo? I mean, because I mean, if you're from France, for example, or from Europe, I don't think you can do that kind of promotion. I mean, you need to be in Qatar or in South America. Do you have this information?
Well, in France, you can promote anything except project that should be registered as a digital asset service provider, but are not. So, but I think they are based, I don't know where they are based, maybe Brazil, maybe Spain, maybe Dubai, I don't know, but what I know is these guys, I think, are so well paid that they don't care about any penalty they can get, in my opinion.
I mean, the thing is, like, when you get
I
great,
thought
you get
penalties
great.
were good in football.
Sorry?
I thought being allowed to have a penalty was a good thing in football.
Yeah, in football, yes, you're right. Good one, Joaquim. Philippe, yes?
Yeah, no. I mean, just to come back on the main subject, the meme coin regarding personalities, I think it's a trend. It's something that will pass when people will understand, when everyone will be wrecked and there will be some affairs, some cases. I mean, it's always like that. Someone will check that the creator of the project, in fact, got most of the liquidity, that he dumped it on the community. I mean, we will have that kind of things that happen exactly like the meme coin, and the trend will stop. Unfortunately, I think we will see it for a lot of different things, maybe for company after that, when it will be a little more regulated. I mean, that's unfortunately a simple way to raise money over the community without really having to promise and to deliver anything. So as long as it's like that, we need to take care of that kind of project. I mean, like it's unfortunate. I mean, that can create some unicorns sometime raising out of nothing. I mean, because they just raise money, and by having so much money, they finally build something. But I think it's an exception usually.
Okay, thank you guys. We also learned that Russia has decided to relax its crypto policy for international payments in order to circumvent US sanctions and rely even less on the Western stranglehold on the monetary system, a major move by the BRICS to strengthen their independence from the American SWIFT monetary system. So it's interesting to see that Russia, since the beginning of the Ukraine war, is trying to not to be sanctioned when they use international monetary system. They already work with the China monetary system now, and they want to use more and more cryptocurrencies for the international payments. And for this, the companies in Russia are encouraged to use cryptocurrency for their international payments. That's I think a very good move for the cryptocurrency that will become a real monetary parallel monetary system for people that don't want to be under the American law. What do you think of this movement that can maybe arise in the we can say countries, comment on dit un pays en développement? Attends, hop.
Developing countries.
Yeah, developing countries. Yeah, Philippe?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's really an interesting and vast subject. I mean, there's a lot of things to say about that. I mean, currently there's a big shift happening since the starting of the war in Ukraine and the blocking of Russia from the global American monetary system. It's difficult now to estimate, in fact, the amount of money and assets that transit through the different members of the BRICS. I mean, even if we say, for example, I see a lot of people trashing Russia, saying they don't have any export or import anymore, everything is frozen. It's just that it's on services and systems that we don't have no view or authority on it. And that's something that now it's taking place in the BRICS. I mean, also with South America, South Africa also is also there. There is some countries from the Gulf that are really interested into that. Without correlating the petrodollar hand that happened in June, that is also something important. We will see, I think, a rise of a new monetary system with the BRICS. And the best way today, if you want to start a new monetary system, would be to use a blockchain technology. I don't think it would be on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, MultiversX whatsoever. I think it will be a private chain for sure, but that will enforce, in fact, the fact that citizens will own a crypto wallet, and after everything is possible. So the adoption will be there. I think it will still take some time. I think it's not something that will come next year or the years after. I mean, I will be really surprised and happy, kind of. But I think it will take more time, in fact, for them to agree on a DAO, if I can say. I mean, like, that's one of the problems that we see also in the community and in crypto. It's difficult to put everyone around the table and agree on concrete rules that apply for everyone, and also on the securities and administration rules that everyone has to bend to. I think that would be difficult regarding the position of Russia and China, that is kind of really high compared to the rest of the BRICS, even if the Gulf can make some balance on that. But I think at the end they would probably manage something. My hope, my guess to finish on that would be that they try to create a cryptocurrency backed on gold. That would be, I think, the dream of Xi Jinping, is to have a currency that they manage that is backed by gold, as good as gold as like the dollar was. And that's for me the objective of the BRICS, to create that and that everyone have his reserve and emit part of it. That would be the best approach, I think, that will make sense regarding the BRICS point of view. Go, Joaquim.
Yeah, Joaquim, go ahead.
Yeah, the idea of going back, because that's what the Bretton Woods Agreement was about for the US dollar, going back to a golden standard is a very interesting topic. And also, as you say, like the BRICS, we're talking about very big actors that they're working together, but they don't trust each other blindly. So they have to use a layer that allows them to exchange values without having to trust one entity, and that's where blockchain comes in. And in a way, we could even, let's say if we could time travel and go back, maybe the agreement upon the Bretton Woods Agreement would have been very different if blockchain technology was invented then, because what happened was obviously that the US took a unilateral decision of depegging the US dollar to the gold and basically keeping most of the gold reserves in the world for themselves, which was supposed to be owned by other countries like France. We even came with a fucking boat to the coast of the US to try to get some gold back. And so I think that this kind of like would create a new way of trading and not depending on private solutions like SWIFT. And maybe it could inspire other countries to create their own or join other alliances. And I think that even if it's not for the near future, we might see a weakening of the US dollar's importance in the world, just because it has been done. There's only one winner with the US dollar as the global standard, and it's the USA. So we might go towards a fairer monetary distribution.
Yeah, if I can add one thing,
Sure.
also, something that happened in the last months. In fact, since I think 2017, even earlier probably, but they have been applied in 2017 quite hard, is a regulation regarding gold importation for Switzerland from Europe. So in fact, from Occident. So in fact, basically before this date, in fact, Switzerland was the main importer of gold from everywhere around the world, the main importer of dot. The thing is, like, most of the gold was coming from shady areas, war area, from dictatorship area, and it was really problematic for Europe that wanted to get a better picture. But what happened because of that and that regulation, now most of the gold, in fact, is going to India and China since almost 15 years. When the regulation has started to be discussed at the European Parliament, all the gold, in fact, is now shifted to this country that now have a huge resource in gold. Taking consideration also that most of the BRIC in the last years get their gold, like say Joaquim, because most of the gold is still locked in US, got their gold out of US by paying also bond to show their engagement to US, so US can deliver the gold. It's a real game of House of Cards, I mean, or Game of Thrones for those prefer. Mm-hmm. And right now there's really like this move. We're at a point almost all the gold is out. Even if I'm pretty sure they will never manage to get it all out, and then something will happen. But I'm coming in the next 10 years, there will be a country that say, if you still want to buy coffee, it will be either gold or Bitcoin. That will make sense.
Okay, thank you guys. Last news is about the 50,000 Bitcoin held by Germany, obtained through judicial seizures. 9,000 Bitcoin have been sent to exchanges in recent days. Their sale, together with those of Mt. Gox and the miners who need to remain profitable after halving, is one of the reasons for the drop in Bitcoin's price. These sales were not carried out by the German government, but by the states of Saxony, to be precise, and they're not motivated by an investment strategy, but by a legal obligation to liquidate confiscated assets within a certain time frame. So we can see that Bitcoin is dumping because of these sales, and I'm afraid that it will continue, since Germany still own a lot of Bitcoin, and they will they will sell it because it's in the law to liquidate such assets. Do you think the current market will be able to absorb this sell pressure? Philip? You live in Germany, we can say.
Yeah. So I think just to give my point of view regarding the situation in Germany and crypto, I mean, at the moment, I think Germany compared to France, when they don't understand, they don't regulate. So they are really open and free on that. So, for example, if you own your crypto and hold them since more than a year, you don't pay taxes on it. That's simple. That's clear. If you're an investor, they don't know how to manage with that. They don't know what kind of asset they are. So there's no taxes. That's the politics at the moment. But if you look, in fact, at the government itself, there's currently nothing that happened regarding blockchain or decentralization or even research on new technology. I mean, it's really sad to watch, to be honest, even if there's a big community in crypto due to the fact that there's no taxes, so they cannot stay in Germany. But the fact is, like, there is no help or really, like, visibility from the government on what they are doing on that. For example, just this year, they just engaged 10 million euro in renovation for the fax machine in the administration. So it's Germany, like, left that on the side at the moment. They totally forgot this bot. I mean, and I think that's why the reason that they are forced to sell these assets, because they have no idea how to do it. They don't know how to place that in the budget. And in fact, they don't want to take care of that at the moment. I think it's really just by, even if some people talk about crypto, there is some discussion happening, but nothing at the parliament. There is like this will, in fact, of saying we don't know, so we don't use it. They are really like that in Germany, and you can see it in crypto. But I mean, they could change it to sex, like check to get benefits, to store it, to get the bet, to make a long, to make a short, to keep it in the wallet of the government for future investment, or just to limit the risk to get exposed to something else. But they will not do that because they don't know who to categorize it. I think it's really as simple as that, to be honest.
Joaquim, do you want to add anything about this?
No, I think Philip did a very great explanation about this.
Thanks, Philip. Thank you very much, Joaquim and Philip, for your inputs about the Web3 news. So I just wanted to add something I read on the comment that is really relevant about the previous topic. Nicolas wrote that will about, you know, the flexibility of the crypto policy in Russia. He wrote that will attract more restrictions on crypto by the West. So it is not good news. It's very interesting, this point of view. Thank you, Nicolas, for this. And, yeah, I did not think about this, but definitely if Russia and other countries under sanctions like Iran or other countries use more and more cryptocurrency for their international payments, it can, we can say, force or encourage the West countries, we can say, to add more restriction about this. We can say that for the moment, we already have like a blacklist countries, blacklist wallets on which registered companies cannot allow transactions to, but maybe it will become harder and harder for European and US citizens to maybe send crypto, to interact with those countries and wallets. Philip?
I mean, it's something that we already kind of saw, if you want, like, so when there is always discussion, when the crypto gets really high and the market cap exploded, like in 3 years ago, the government want to do something to regulate and to control. I mean, if you remember, in France, there have been discussion about forbidden cold wallets, so that nobody, all the crypto that you should own should be on sex, and either they kind of announce a date, limit date on which if you didn't put your asset on your sex, they would be declared as illegal or something like that. There was an entire plan that was really crazy. And I think we need to take care of that. But, me, what I see, I mean, and just to parenthesis regarding the gold and US, you need to remember that US, when they get out of the gold, or at least when they try when they disclose, they separate the dollar and the gold, they force people from their population to give the gold to the state at a certain fixed price. And that's something that could totally happen with crypto. I mean, like at the end, if they did it for gold, if you do it for crypto, it's the same consequence. That means you have a private wallet, you need to send your Bitcoin there. We buy it at a certain price, and if you don't do it, your Bitcoin will be illegal. It's something that they can do, definitely. The thing is, like, we are not in a unilateral world anymore, I think. It's not like US decide and everyone bend over. I think that's finished. I mean, like, it will not happen again, and even less today when you see the current situation, politics in US and how the country is divided into. But the thing is, like, if the southern country, China, reclaim payments in crypto, even on Bitcoin, on Ethereum, they give even the choice on the private blockchain because we want to control it, we'll be forced to do it because we're depending on them. They buy our bond, in fact, and we'll pay maybe them in crypto, but at the end, they want to stop the inflation and the printing money that they have. Right now, they did the effort to continue to buy bond, in fact, to get their gold out. And I think we're at the point of maybe stop that. I think we have to wait for the election in US to maybe have a better view, but it maybe take 10 or 15 years. But the regulation that Europe and US can put is true, unfortunately, but US, I think, will not do it as 100%, will not like block everything, considering they have mastodont of the industry in their soil, and they probably don't want to kick them out. So that would be the only thing, I think, that blocks a big regulation. It's just the forbidden of cold wallet that could be crazy, but could happen.
Thank you, Philippe, for this. Joaquim, is it okay for you?
Yeah, I think if we're going to take forever if I start on this topic.
Oh, really? Actually, we have time, but no. If it's okay, as you wish. Thank you very much again, Joaquim and Philippe, for your inputs about the Web3 news. Let's start now your part, Joaquim. You wanted to speak about what happened last week, I think, around Apple and Epic Games, and maybe more generally around Web3 gaming. You have the mic, bro.
Thank you very much. So for everyone who isn't aware, Epic Games and Apple have been fighting tooth and nail for quite some years now. It all started with Fortnite, and the reason being that Fortnite was available on the App Store as a mobile game, in the same way as it was on Google with the Play Store. But the Apple politics are that they take a 30% tax on any in-game purchase or in-app purchase, meaning that for every, let's say $10, obviously, $3 go to their pocket, which is something that has been seen as quite high. And we see Meta tried and decided to give up when they were looking into launching Web3 features on Instagram. And even into the metaverse. But the reason they can allow themselves to do that is because Apple doesn't allow side loading. There's only one app store on iPhones or in the Apple ecosystem, which is controlled by them. So they are a bit the king of the hill in their own little universe they've created, which Epic didn't like. So what they decided to do was to incentivize users to go buy V-Bucks, the digital currency of Fortnite, on their website, and therefore not having to pay the 30% to Apple. This was a quite clear breach of the T's and C's of the App Store that clearly stated that you're not allowed to use to send users away from the app to do purchases. They need to be there inside. And that is where I think Apple has been a very big break, slow down the adoption of Web3 games on mobile devices, is because of their state. Because what that means is that it's not only on in-app purchases as we know it, like your extra lives in Candy Crush as an example, or your V-Bucks for Fortnite, but it also comes to digital assets like NFTs and tokens, meaning that if you read they might have changed it, but if you read the T's and C's of Apple, they say that you can't use something that has valuable money that comes from outside the Apple ecosystem So for example, an NFT that you bought on XOXNO, to give you specific perks that other users can't have inside of your app, because they mean that because it gives special features that should only be allowed to be purchased through the app, and therefore paying the 30% to Apple. This is similar with tokens, because in the end, the only difference between V-Bucks and tokens are that tokens are on chain. And so that was a big problem for adoption in Web3 on every Apple holder. And as you probably know, there are examples of projects that do just that, where you can go on the website and buy assets and use them. I wouldn't be able to tell you if Apple has started looking a bit the other way and has been a bit more flexible about it, or if they just haven't checked those specific projects, and at any given day it could change and the project could get a warning or even a ban from the store. I have no idea. But this started this very aggressive case between Apple and Epic Games, where Epic Games went to sue Apple because of their monopolistic behavior. And even if it didn't go the way they planned, they've indirectly won, because the European Union and the European Commission started looking into Apple and the Apple ecosystem and realized that they had indeed way too much power. Well, personal opinion, but I agree with for once. I agree with the European Union on regulation, and so they forced Apple on the latest US update to allow both sideloading and third-party app stores. What does that mean? That means for every user that has the latest update of iOS and lives in the European Union, which is a very important part, they can now sideload apps. So sideloading means you simply take the IPA file for iOS and APK files for Android and install it directly on your device. So it could be your own app, it could be an app downloaded on the internet, it could be emulators, for example, for playing old video games. All those kind of games can be, or files can therefore be installed directly on the device. It can pose some security risks, so don't download and install anything. But for Android users, it's been something that we've been doing forever. So now Apple can do it too. It's a bit a pain of the ass to do. I'm going to be honest with you, because Apple never wants to do. When someone tells Apple what to do, they always find the hardest way to do it. And then when it comes to the third-party apps, we see now Epic Games are launching their own app store, and we have AltStore, which already existed for 5-6 years, which basically forced you at some point in the past to jailbreak your phone, which is no longer the case, and allowed you to install custom apps. Now they have been officially approved by Apple, so you can download apps on what is called the AltStore. There is a little fee to download it, because Apple, being Apple, they are forcing all those AltStores to have to pay 50 cents per download as technological fee. I'm not sure exactly why or what the technological fee means, but they have to pay it. So there is some cost even for the third party marketplaces. And so Epic, after some back and forth, finally got approved. They still got told that some of the designs look too similar to the App Store and they need to change it, but we can expect to see it in the near future, hopefully. And why is that such a positive thing for Web3? Well, simply because there are a lot of blockchain games that have been allowed on the Epic Game Store. They are a lot more flexible with Web3 than, for example, Steam, even though we have some examples, like recently Dragon's Arena, or Gods of Fire is the name of the game. But most of the blockchain games are on Epic Games. And so we could expect that Epic Games will open the submissions of mobile apps for iPhone and Android to Web3 games, and maybe this will become the kind of like default app store for Web3 games in the future. Even if I would love to see like a custom one, a bit like Solana we did with the Saga phone, where they have their own marketplace for dApps. maybe we'll see that in the future on iOS too. So for once, I think the European regulation did a good thing by putting a bit of pressure and making it fair, especially because I know, for example, in MultiversX, there's a lot of us that are big fans of Apple and using iPhone. And I see, for me, I always thought it was a bit of like, how do you call it? Paradox that we are all here for Web3 and we're using one of the most centralized and locked out systems, which is Apple. But yeah, and if you have any questions, Jerome or Philippe, or you want to comment anything, just let me know. If not, I'll move to the gaming parts.
Philippe, go ahead.
Yeah, no, super presentation, Joaquim. I mean, I would just add one point that I think it's also important to highlight. Epic Game, in fact, they will also propose, and that's something that we don't see so much at the moment because of Apple politics and whatsoever. And for once, like you say, I agree with you, thanks to the European Commission between that and the USB-C cable. Thank you. Maybe I will buy an iPhone one day in my life. Let's see. But the fact that we create this new, in fact, store for gaming, it's something really interesting in the fact that some SDK will be updated to simplify the integration of new solution that is Web3 based. Let me explain. So if you want to create a game today on Unity, on Unreal Engine, all these things, you need to have, so either you create your own piece of code that will communicate with the wallet, but it's kind of not the best solution usually. So we need to have an SDK to maintain that can be used by the developers. That will simplify the connection that is with MetaMask, with Exporter, with a ledger, with a different element to link it with your on-game account. So that's something, in fact, that need to be done. And Epic Stores, in fact, will propose, I think, in this package, like you say, Joaquim, in the registration for new project on smartphone or on their stores. The idea would be to simplify the onboarding of new builders, to simplify the tools for building. And I think Epic have definitely the resources and the need to invest in that kind of SDK to bring more and more builder and absorb like the Web3 gaming industry, if I can say, on their stores. Because if they provide these things for the builders, it's like we discuss all the time about the blockchain, and you need to bring users and you need to bring builders. And Epic is in the same way. That means that you need to bring users. They have that. And now they want to create a new branch of games, a new kind of solution to bring even more users. And for that, they need to bring builders. And I will be really curious about what Epic Games will do that. They are usually really good at that. But I really hope that they will put like some grant or some money on the table that people develop that kind of solution. That could be fast even, because Epic Game is really good at that. But let's continue, Joaquim.
Well, I think that covers the Apple Epic Games, and I was thinking, since it's summer, summer means beaches and mojitos, but for a lot of people it also means having more time to spare playing video games if that's what they enjoy. For example, the Steam Summer Sale just went live a few days ago, and I grabbed the Tunic, a very fun little game about a little fox. But anyway, there's been a lot of progress in the Web3 world when it comes to gaming, because one of the main complaints, which I completely agree with, was that yes, blockchain technology is great for games, but as of now, the quality of those games is subpar compared to what we're experiencing in classic Web2 gaming. And we're seeing that slowly and steadily, those games are getting better and better. And I made a little list for you, and I'll probably make a post about it during the day, about games you can enjoy this summer. Some have beneficial perks like play to airdrop, etc. Some don't, but you can buy their assets to get advantages or earn, etc. But yeah, so to start with, I think this one is one of that has been the most awaited for. I've had the joy to test the private betas a few times, and I quite like the system. It's not exactly a game for me, but I'm talking about Illuvium. So Illuvium is a game about hunting down creatures and capturing them, a bit like Pokemon-like, but much more realistic and futuristic. And with those, you can launch auto battlers. So there is a strategic point of view in it, if what type of monsters you pick to attack which other player or other rogue monsters that you want to try to capture. But once you've pressed start, the battling system does its own thing and you don't have any impact yet, which some people like. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but yeah. So they have a play to airdrop campaign. They have assets too. You can buy land. So what they have, which is quite interesting, and then I'll move to the next game, is that they have 3 games in one, basically. So they have a mobile game called the Overworld. No, not the Overworld. Zero. Sorry, Illuvium Zero, which is kind of like a resource management, classic resource management game of like, a bit like number goes up. You have resources, you build buildings to produce more resources, you do research, etc. And the resources you produce, you can then sell them to the players who play Illuvium Overworld, because they're going to need this. It's called fuel to travel, catch illuviums, etc. So there is kind of like a circular economy of, even from your mobile, because it's a quite heavy PC game, you can contribute to the Illuvium ecosystem. And then there is Illuvium Arena, I think it's called, which is the pure battle system. There is no which might also come to mobile devices in the future, but it is just the battling system without the exploration and hunting. So a very long-awaited game, has received quite positive reviews and has some play to airdrop benefits. So if this is a game you are interested in, you can start playing it today. It's open to everyone now. Next one is a game we all know and love on MultiversX, is Cantina Royale. So the reason I'm talking about Cantina Royale, even though I guess most of you know about it, is because they are featured in the game's free quests. So yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's GAM3S. Is a web platform that lists most of the well-known Web3 games. They have staff that writes reviews. You can write your own reviews about games, and they have quests. So those quests are done in partnership with those games that are featured and gives you in-game perks. Sometimes it's raffles, so you're not guaranteed to win anything, but other times you can actually get free NFTs if you're quick enough. And Cantina Royale is featured on it as we speak. So if you are into Web3 gaming, GameFreeze.gg is definitely a good place to go. They had an airdrop recently. I received not much, but I received some because I've been following them for a while. But you can expect to see more and more gamification on the platform, because they have just launched what is called the Vault on the Game3 website, which gives you better perks and access to early games, etc., to holders of their token. So Cantina Royale for me is honestly, and by the way, sadly their CEO passed away last week, I think. Very, very sad news.
Yeah, full
but
support to the family,
yeah.
Of course.
But the game has been on a constant grow, and we've seen new iterations, and I'm extremely positively surprised by what they've managed to do, because it's that a lot of projects I've seen raise a lot of money and then kind of like stale development, while Cantina Royale has kind of like reinvented themselves over and over, and went of kind of like taking an old game and making it Web3 to then reinventing themselves and making it attractive to Web2 users too, with an interesting economical system with the lending of NFTs. So I feel like in the whole MultiversX adoptions and projects that are successful on MultiversX, we don't talk enough about Cantina Royale, surprisingly, because I'm convinced it brings eyes to MultiversX. Moving on, and I'm going to go a bit quick.
Sorry, Joaquim, about Cantina Royale, do you have any metrics about the daily active users, or maybe the volume of secondary market trading in their in-game marketplace or something? Sorry, just because we followed, of course, Cantina Royale for the Launchpad, but with a huge marketing. But since when they communicate very very few, except for a big announcement. So no big marketing, nothing about the metrics. So they are building, in a pretty like silent way, in my opinion. So that's why maybe people don't speak about, them, maybe enough.
No, absolutely. I think they kind of they might come back to it, but they kind of stopped the classic Web3 marketing, which is Twitter, and focused more on the stores. I just checked. I can't tell you daily active users, but what I can tell you is that on Google Play they have over 50,000 downloads, which is great. I wouldn't say it's incredible. For example, Knights of Catena actually has over 100,000 downloads, as a comparison.
Yeah, because, this is sorry to interrupt, but what you say is interesting. Cantina Royale, which is, maybe, a smaller game, because they raised, less funds, they have maybe less, ambitions for the moment. They communicate way more, and especially about the number of transactions, because they are the first app on MultiversX in terms of transaction, I think. And we received, their CEO, a few weeks ago. So yeah, that's, interesting to see the different way of both, gaming projects to communicate to the community.
Yeah, and I'm gonna give my opinion on this. I think Knights of Catena was genuinely created by people who are very passionate about blockchain, because, as you say, the in-game shops, a lot of things are transactions done in an abstract way for the user. So they are paying out of their pocket, basically, obviously compensating with the sale of boxes, etc., chests, I think they call it. But they are covering the transactions cost for the users, and that's how they can make that many transactions for them without having to, sign a transaction every 10 seconds. So I think while Cantina Royale uses what they call their layer 2, I'm not sure on a technical point of view what it means, if it's only a server, if they actually have like their own little internal blockchain, but it's called Verco, and a lot of it is therefore off MultiversX. I'm not going to say off chain entirely because I do not know, but it's not on the main chain of MultiversX. That is for sure. So the only thing that is their NFTs, and I think their weapons. But a lot of the rest is on the Verco, whatever it is. So there is definitely a different strategy done there. And again, Knights of Catena are probably paying a lot more in transaction cost than Cantina Royale.
Okay. Is it over for you, Joaquim?
I have a few more, but I'm going to go much more quicker through them.
No, we have time. Take your time, brother. This morning we are chill. Okay, let's go.
So another game that has been around and been talked about for quite a while, I've seen him pass it through, and I've never actually digged. So I had a look yesterday. It's called Boss Fighters. So Boss Fighter is an asymmetric game. I can't remember. There's another game that is very famously known for that, but I can't remember the name of it right now. So you have one player that has a VR headset and is the boss. So a very big character with brute force, and then the other players are on their PC, and they're small guys that have to battle a bit like like all the big, I want to say Marvel movies where you have plenty of small guys battling a big guy, and it kind of like uses this asymmetric game mechanic between the giant in the VR headset and the rest of the players that are fighting against him. So though this has been around for a while, it's still in beta, but I think you can join quite easily. And there is some NFT assets linked to it. Another long-awaited game that I've tried out, I suck at those kind of games, so I'm not the right person to give you an opinion, is Nyan Heroes. So Nyan Heroes is quite similar to Overwatch, for people who know that. So it's a first-person shooter where you like in teams. I think it's 5 versus 5. And they had the airdrop campaign where you could simply play to airdrop, which was quite generous. I tried a few games and I think I received around $50 worth of token. So instead of paying for a game, I got paid the price of a game for trying it out. So yeah, Overwatch style kind of ranked system. You actually need to be quite good to progress in the ranked system. They said they balanced it because I remember when I tried it out, we were playing against the extremely high level players, but it seems to have got better now. Back to mobile games, we have Fableborn, which just launched recently, and you can play for free. You don't need to buy any assets for the airdrop. And there is some social quests, etc. But you can check on the website. Again, I'll leave all the names in the comments afterwards. It's quite similar to like Supercell, Clash Royale, Clash of Clans, all of those kind of games. You're a little character, and you have to fight hordes of enemies. Tried it, quite fun. Spent maybe 20 minutes playing it, and had a quite positive impression. Next one, parallel.
Joaquim, just after you finished, can you share the link of the games that you're mentioning so people can?
I'll make a comment of each.
Thanks
so you can
a lot.
Pin them. Next one is Parallel TCG. So it's a card game. I think that's on Ethereum, if I'm not wrong, or maybe Polygon. But futuristic card game. We've had quite a few card games. We've had Gods Unchained. We've had I forgot Cross the Ages. But this one has quite a lot of success. Even though it is quite, if you want to progress, it is actually quite expensive from the reviews I've read, because you need to buy cards, and the OP cards are obviously very expensive, etc. But if you like TCGs, so trading card games, have a look at that one. Another FPS, which is more modern combat style, is Shrapnel. Also long-awaited game, has very positive reviews. Kind of classic shooter game. And lastly, if you're more of the chill Animal Crossing kind of thing, there is a game called Moonfrost that launched recently. Also has the play to airdrop campaign, which is a very chilled PC game where you take care of a farm. There's like NPCs, you interact with them, and a bit like Stardew Valley vibes. For the ones who like those kind of farming games. So yeah, that is my list of, I'm not sure how much, 8 games that for this summer. And I'm not even going to talk about all the tap to earns we've seen with like Hamster Combat and Notcon, etc. I think you've all seen and been spammed them, so I don't need to add another one. But and I wouldn't call that proper games. So yeah, I hope you found this interesting. I'm going to now write each of those games in the comment section, and Jerome probably will pin them. And hope you might try some, and let me know if you've tried any. And if you want to give any opinion on if you tried, or there's a game you want to share, feel free to take the mic or leave a comment with them.
Thank you, Joaquim, for this big and very interesting list. Just a last question, because we spoke about it recently on GM Web3. According to you, simple games like, tap to earn, or very, very vintage and very simple games, do they have more chance to attract users on Web3 than more maybe complex games like the one that you mentioned?
So this is a very interesting question, and I think it has to do. It's a mix of two things. So the reason people play, for example, Hamster Combat, or what's that other name? Something Monster. Help me, Shiram. You used to play it too. Psycho Monster. Is that like we don't do it because it's fun, and we wouldn't do it if there wasn't a reward in the end. So I think that those very repetitive, simple games are the best way to get many of users quickly, because they don't want to read through rules or learn strategy, etc. They just want to do something on a daily or more active basis, just to earn rewards. While more fetched out games, and that's why I don't really call them games, I mostly call them farming tools, have more strategic depth, even if it is, well, or not, like a farming game, but they are more about having a good time rather than the speculation aspect. And I actually was at the Solana Hacker House a few days back. Yeah, I know. I was on the cover for MultiversX at the Solana Hacker House. There was the CEO of Animoca Brands, which is a massive VC in gaming, and we were discussing just that about the different kind of players in Web3 games, because in traditional Web2 games you have kind of two, as he was saying, you kind of have two players. You have the player who just progresses by playing and is never going to spend a cent in your game. And then you have the person who wants to progress quicker, or get fancy gear or cosmetics, etc., that is going to spend money in your game. And that was it, right? Well, on Web3, games economies are so much more complicated, because not only do you have those two, but you also have the one who buys assets because they're speculative and hope they go up in price. You have the ones that farm the game just to extract value and actually like do it nearly as a job. There's so many different profiles of both giving value to the game and extracting value. And as the CEO said so well, you need all of them. You just need to find the right balance between them.
That's interesting, but also simple games are also more attractive, because there is nothing to download, very few mechanisms to understand, making it more accessible in emerging countries. So in terms of attraction of users on Web3, it's way easier.
No, for sure. But I think that has to do with, if you look at like games, again, we're going to take the example of Supercell, because they're famously known for that. Like, I think with good tutorials, and good gamified tutorials, actually, where you don't have to read 20 pages or something before you start playing. I love board games, so I'm used to do that, but not everyone, do. It kind of like brings you new complexity, slowly, and makes it easy to discover, instead of, we've seen with a lot of Web3 games where you just kind of get thrown in there and like there's 20 things you need to learn about straight away, and you're just like, this is overwhelming, this is not fun. So I don't think it has to do with how complex a game is. I think it has to do with how you show the players towards it. So start light and then slowly add new components. There's a great GDC, so that's a game developer conference, about this with Plant vs. Zombie. Where you basically at the start you just have this like small pea shooters that shoot on zombies, just to explain to you, okay, you need to shoot zombies with the pea shooter, and then they add more and more plants and more complexity. But the game was extremely easy in the first few levels, so even your grandma could start playing.
Okay, Philippe, last word before EGLDSqueeze part.
Yeah, no, I wanted to, you almost talked about like the last session, but I would just add one or two elements. It's regarding the simplicity of the game. I think what we try to aim in Web3, it's Candy Crush replication of success. It's something simple that can be played. And just to add also the play to earn aspect, it's something that should not be neglected. It's something really important in case of onboarding a lot of users. I don't know if you remember, but we received the Night of Latina CEO a few weeks ago, and most of the users at the moment, because they were still there is something to earn, in fact, are coming from India and some other poor country in the area, if I can say it like that, that play in fact this game, because earning in fact is higher than the daily rate there. So it's something in fact that need to be considered in terms of adoption, in terms of onboarding more and more users, but also something that games should not only rely on. That means that these users at the end are not here to play, they are here to earn money, and as long as it's rentable, they will do it, and after they will stop to go to another game. So this aspect, like say Joaquim, to take in consideration, it's really complex to organize and to make it worth over the time and sustainable. But I think it will be like one of the simple game, Clash of Clans, like a simple competitive mechanism with some earn on top, with some NFT that can be resold for mining, like we saw in World of Warcraft with a lot of Chinese doing mining of gold and some rare weapons to sell it on the secondary market. We will see that in blockchain, and the entire infrastructure is ready for that. So I will check in the comment the different game, maybe try some of them, like said Joaquim. I will ask him the best that he preferred. But I think it's something that will raise in the coming months with the Apple Store and the Epic Game Store. All these things we try to align, a lot of money will flow in, and I think maybe we'll see a FOMO effect. Let's hope.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can I quickly just respond?
Yeah, sure, but please.
Yeah, very, very quick. I totally agree with you, Philip, and I think it's a great new opportunity for emerging countries, is what we call it, Philip. Is that used to be, I won't say illegal, in the sense that like in World of Warcraft, in RuneScape, or even in Dofus for the French of us, there were people who were selling in-game currencies against money, but that was against the terms and conditions, so those accounts could get banned, etc., which kind of limited how you could do it, even though obviously there was quite a lot of people doing it. But here we're kind of going on, this is allowed, and it's actually incentivized, like we're promoting the fact that you can earn money in it, while when you played World of Warcraft, we would never say, oh, if you get this rare skin, you'll be able to sell it for $500. The only exception to that is CSGO, but most of those games were just like, cool, you have a rare skin, now your account has a rare skin, and that's it. And if you want to sell it, you need to sell your whole fucking account. So I think this is kind of like a change of narrative, which means that the economics need to be impacted with it to ensure that it's not just a drain of people trying to have fun while the rest of the players extract it.
Philip, we need to stop.
One sentence, and regarding the fees, in fact, that's something that the royalties for the NFTs and the token, that will be a subject we'll talk after, but it's something important that needs to be discussed also.
Yeah, definitely. We'll speak about royalties very, very soon. Okay, thank you very much, Joaquim, for this column. It was very, very insightful, very interesting. Take the time to share the links of the games that you mentioned. I'm sure people will want to try them during the summer. Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
Thank you very much. And we welcome again Daniel. Daniel, can you hear me, and how are you?
Yeah, guys, it's a pleasure to be here. Nice to meet you here. First time to be here on these spaces, and I'm feeling good, but a little bit tired. Because as you mentioned also, you are waking up very early. So for me, last 12 days, I cannot sleep. I don't know why, because the movement starts a little bit crazy. So I have like 100 message per day from people, also from Czech community, because I'm from Czech. I'm Czech citizen from Prague. And it's going to be crazy. So I cannot sleep. I'm sleeping like 6 hours a day and going to sleep in 12. So
Okay.
I'm taking sleeping pills and I'm trying to do my best. So 16 hours per day, I'm just on the X on Telegram, and I'm still thinking how we can push it, guys. So I'm here because there is much more people that are much more like OGs and people that will be smarter than me. So I'm willing to listen your ideas and tips what we can do, because we just started and we can do it 1000x bigger. So
okay.
let's go.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you this morning with us. I have a few questions for you, just maybe to understand better your ambition with the EGLDSqueeze movement. First of all, can you tell us how and when you decided to launch this? And maybe first, can you explain maybe your background and how you discovered EGLD and Elrond maybe at the time, and MultiversX ecosystem? Just to know more about you.
Yeah, okay, makes sense. It will be a little bit longer, but if you want to listen,
we
if
have
it's
time this morning, so feel
okay,
free, take the
perfect.
time.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
okay. Yeah, thank you. If it will be long, just stop me. So basically, I discovered crypto in 2017. Long story short, I'm doing business from 2014. I left the high school, so I don't have even high school. In Czech we call it middle school. So I have just the like 9 years of or 13 years of the school, and I love it to do my business. And in 2017, I had like $100,000 in cash, and when the Bitcoin was in the top, it was like 21K or 17K, something like this. Before the Christmas, I invest half of my money to Bitcoin and half of my money to Ethereum, and I also buy some part of the Litecoin because it was crazy. I didn't know it was the just fork of the Bitcoin, and with different block size. I didn't understand basically nothing. I just went YOLO, and and I lost 95% of my money. Then I start continue with business. I forget the crypto, and in 2029, I had a huge, or my friend had a huge issue because he had frozen money in the bank by some special like government, and it was frozen for 1 year, and there was like investigation if it's from like not money laundering, and and then they found out there is no issue, and they unblock him money. And after that I discover, and it was like $2 million, and I discover, okay, there is no way how we can play this because it become crazy, and only way how to get escape from this is Bitcoin or Web3. And then I start study Bitcoin and white paper again, but more deep, and I start to understand how the cycles and halving works. And in these times, because this happened, I decided to go like 80% on crypto and 20% liquidity just for doing the business actually. So I start doing it. I start buying the Bitcoin on, I think it was like maybe 17K, 20K. I start buying like 6 months before Michael Saylor started tweeting about BTC, which was awesome because MicroStrategy is still like thinking he had huge podcast where he's saying like I cannot grow 30% a year. Inflation in the United States is huge, so I have two options. Firstly, I will buy the gold, but if I will buy 1 billion of gold, I will need to army 10,000 people that will protect the gold, which doesn't make a sense. So then he decided to go all in on Bitcoin basically, and in these times I already had a huge bag of Bitcoin. Then I start thinking, okay, what's the next? Because Bitcoin is not peer-to-peer money. Like it's peer-to-peer money, but it's not actually money. It doesn't sound like money because if you are waiting for transaction 3 hours and you need layer 2 and there is no functionality, and like there is huge lot of problems. So I start thinking, okay, because Satoshi original vision was peer-to-peer cash with zero fees and fast, and that's not what Bitcoin becomes. And the thing is that if someone's saying me and shilling me that something is like limited and scarce, it doesn't mean it's like internet gold because okay, any other fork of Bitcoin can be scarce and can have same functionality. Of course, this is proven by long history, but it doesn't make any sense for me because Python was language that was used by Google Inc. for many years. The Google Ads and all platform was basically built on Python. Then Google decided to write Go, and every application you see right now that have proper fast backend with like zero issues is just Go. So like we are just saying like something have proven history and like it just doesn't work. Technology will always win in the long term, and only thing is that we don't have liquidity on this perfect chain as is MultiversX, and we're gonna do it. So then after that I start learning, and I see video from Crypto Lark, I think, and he had like a video like top altcoins for this year, and there is a black horse, and black horse is e-gold. Sorry, not like e-gold, like Elrond. Okay, I check this. I check the interview with Benny, and I see the next Steve Jobs, and I'm saying like, wow, he's a big visionary. perfect speaking English. I understand him because my English is not good, and he's speaking like the normal people, average guy like me. He explained that he needs mass adoption. He needs 1000 improvements. He's talking about sharding and why the horizontal scaling is very important, which I know because we are using Kubernetes, which is horizontal scaling. And I absolutely hate vertical scaling, because by vertical scaling, you cannot scale the business that have 1 million visitors in online, and no big business, including Amazon, AWS, Netflix, Shopify, whatever you will want to choose, nobody scale vertically like Solana in Web 2. So basically everyone using horizontal scaling, which means the sharding, and sharding means to scale. And sharding, I believe, it's only way right now how we can scale. So if I saw this, I decide this is the future. Then I start studying 10,000 hours plus, if I will decide between the Solana or between the MultiversX, aka like Elrond in these times. And I also studied Wesley because he wrote a lot of articles. He wrote amazing article on Medium. I highly recommend it to read you. It's very old article, but it's good to read. And because of him, and because of Benny, and because I see white paper, I also study white paper of Algorand, and I find out that this guy that started the Algorand, he get, I think, Nobel Prize maybe, and he's one of the most fascinating and smartest guys in cryptography and mathematics or whatever. He's very smart, and basically, Benny and core team of MVX, they don't lie about that they were inspired by Algorand in white paper, and that's good thing. Because if you are inspired by someone who is almost the smartest man in the cryptography, and he's very like for me, it's like genius, then maybe you are on good way. And if you are inspired by Vitalik, and Vitalik actually, knows what's going here, what's going on, because he started Ethereum, and he was the first one, and he also believed in the sharding, and he wrote the articles and tweets in 2018, I think, that the sharding is on the way. Right now, he don't speak about the sharding, and it makes sense, because he cannot use sharding, he cannot do that. He have all the dinosaur, all skyscraper, and he just cannot do that. So in his roadmap, basically what you can see is only two layer twos. And he basically openly say that Ethereum cannot scale, and Ethereum will not be able to scale in even 10 years. He don't have sharding in the roadmap because it's impossible. That's first thing. And very important, because nobody in long term will use layer 2s in Ethereum, because it just doesn't make a sense for average guy like me. I tried it. Like Base is basically Justin Bonds write very good tweet about this, that all layer 2s are totally centralized. Sometimes even in Polygon or whatever, there's too many layers 2 where 2 or 3 people can steal all the funds. And if MetaMask will go down, and it happened already, because it's ruled by a cartel called Infura. It's basically the wallet Ethereum is basically, for me, I'm not a expert, but my opinion is that it's highly centralized. And if MetaMask will go down because Infura, you will must collect $3 million and hire developers and just run this open source project to get your money and smart contracts. So I just don't like it. And after that, I decide if I will go by Solana, and I find that their founder is a little bit arrogant, which I don't like. I don't like because I saw discussion between founder of Near and Anatoly, I don't know, I cannot say it right now, but the founder of Solana, and they talk about the sharding. And Near, Ton, MultiversX, Algorand, even Ethereum and Vitalik, everyone, even Sui, everyone have the same goal, create the sharding. But MVX is only one that have the sharding from 2021 or 2020. And it's on mainnet, it's live, it has 0 downtime, it works, and finality is 6 seconds, and they want to push it to 1 second, which will be totally crazy, because if you can have 1 second finality and maintain the centralization and have more than 3,500 validators, including me. By the way, I had 2 validators agencies. That's crazy. And these times I decide a lot. And it took me 1 month to decide if I will go all in on MultiversX or if I will go all in on Solana. And I decide for MultiversX by investment right now. It will be bad choice because I'm in like 20, I will like in these times I were like 90% in down and on the max and on EGLD, which was quite funny. But I'm here for long term. I don't care. Same as Sailor or El Salvador don't care about the price of the Bitcoin. They just buying and DCA every day. I'm doing same with Eagle. We are buying every day. I don't care which if there is a $500 price or if there is 30. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Daniel, for explaining where you're from and how you arrived on MultiversX. It's very interesting. I have a few more questions.
Okay.
And of course, guys from the audience, feel free to ask your question, to say anything you want on the comment. You can also raise your hand and ask for the mic to speak directly to Daniel if you want. First, how did you get the movement off the ground, and with what support? Were you alone initially, or maybe you launched it with other people?
Yeah, it's a good question. Thank you for asking. Basically, after I saw that I spoke with my friend in Czech and hey, go MBX, I'm all in. And he say, it's that chain, sorry, bro. It's that chain. I'm in ND. I'm in Boys Club. I'm on Pepe. Nobody cares about MVX. Sell this shit. And I say like, okay, I have different opinion. And but after I try to discover hashtag eGold and MultiversX, I go to CoinMarketCap. I look at my portfolio. I see I'm down, and I see like every new post on CoinMarketCap was, "It's that chain. There is no liquidity. There is no dApps. Nobody will use it. Go to Solana," and these things. And I don't like it. And I decide, okay, what I can do, how I can be helpful, how I can help the ecosystem, how I can help Benny, because I have 0 followers, so nobody cares about me. I'm just using my Twitter for reading. And it's right now like 14 days I'm using Twitter actively, and I had more than 1 million views in analytics. And what I decided to do is that I will try to help with the marketing for sure for free. I was alone. I have more than 100 colleagues, and I have a lot of employees and 3 companies worldwide, but I don't ask nobody. I just say everybody, I will stop working. I delegate my work. I close the door in the office. I put headphones and I just start tweeting. And first tweet was about let's like explain people that there is basically very important to be unite, very important to educate. So first article was why I will always choose MultiversX and not Solana. I spent like 3 hours writing.
We'll speak about this later. How is the movement organized, and what is its ultimate goal?
Okay, so yeah, movement is not organized, and I think it's a good thing. I even consulted with flyers because I am not like I don't have a connection with the teams. I'm just an investor. I start a movement, and movement is outgrow me, and you guys, you are the movement. So what I can do basically is I have my plans. I have my checklist in the head. Every day I have new idea. I have like 20 huge ideas. I cannot speak about them publicly because if I will speak, it will don't be, maybe it will don't happen. So I need to go step by step. And right now I'm preparing something very, very crazy. I will maybe lose my anonymity and maybe I will lose my privacy, but I need to do that for the movement, for the apes, and I will just continue pushing. So in next 14 days, definitely will don't do countdown, bros. Just don't do countdown,
No, please,
but
no more countdowns.
yeah, no countdowns. But
Well, we learned we recently learned it was a meme. Actually, the countdown was a meme. And about this, you spoke about Benny's interview that maybe convinced you to get interested in the blockchain. I pinned on the Twitter space the list of games from Joaquim, and if you scroll on the right, you can find also the last and in my opinion the best interview of Benjamin Minku by our friends from Le Crypto Daily.
I see it, man. Thank you so much. I see it
You're
yesterday.
welcome.
I see it, and it's absolutely amazing. And he explained here that he learned from the mistakes. So I post about this, his learning machine, and he's very good and open. He also was open about the trademark that was there was issue with Lord of the Rings, and which is good that he is good that he don't lies, because people need transparency and everyone can learn from the mistake. I did same mistake also, and if you start a blockchain, you cannot wait 3 years to register trademark or 1 year. You just must start. So he just choose the name, and then it's going wrong in direction. And I think this name is even better. People will start understand it's not about metaverse, and it's about quantum physics and about one chain rule them all. So yeah, I think it's good for you.
Definitely. On this interview, you will have many answers about rebranding, the countdown, about fundraising soon, and many other topics. I invite you all to watch this interview. I pinned it on the Twitter space. And you said it's not an organized movement, okay? But there is a Telegram on which people can join and can share their content about EGLDSqueeze and chill and have fun all together.
Yes, definitely. There is a Telegram. Everyone can join. Everyone can be admin. Only people that are OGs or people that will do some work firstly, and then basically we can go give admin to anyone who is willing to help and who will prove that he's the real person. So that's first thing. Same in the community on X. Second thing, I also consult with Flyer if I don't do anything bad and I don't cannot have the problems, because I start a movement and there will be no pump and dump scheme for sure, because it's long-term hold and DCA. But anyway, I'm starting to feeling that this movement will be absolutely crazy. I also have my plans that I hope, I don't know, but I hope that it can make it total viral. And I will always say not financial advice, do your own research. I will educate people. And also we don't like to speculate on price on our channel, because we don't want to be blocked from anyone in the bull run like GME was. So we just saying, we can have next GME movement. We can have 1 million apes that will using X portal, but no speculation, not loans, not borrowing money. I will don't be next sailor that will tell you, okay, Bitcoin is zero risk investment, mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin. No, I will don't do that.
Thank you for this precision. You mentioned that you were not in touch with the team when you launched the movement, and now are you in contact with the team? I saw that Benjamin, Robert, and many other core members we participated into the movement. Do you have any contact with them, and did they help you in any way?
Basically they don't help me, but I wrote Lucian to let know Benjamin about one thing, because I have a lot of employees and all my employees download X portal, and they are Europe citizens from the Prague, and hey, they get FOMO a little bit, and they just want to buy X portal, use it, and start educate also. And they are non-crypto people. They don't know nothing about Bitcoin and these things. So I learned them, and I found the small issue in KYC. It's not like issue of the application. Application is absolutely best, but there was some issue if you put ID and if you make bad photo, then the external API that doing your verification just like block some accounts, and from like 10 accounts, like 6 or 4 accounts were blocked. Maybe it was their mistake, but I explained Lucian, brother of Benny, that we need to have ratio 99% success and 1% fail. And if someone will fail, you need to have unlimited or at least 5 options to go KYC again, which is not possible right now. So I'm basically testing all I can. I putting the pressure. Everyone I see, even I have trainer in box, like for box, I started doing boxing, and my trainer yesterday downloaded the Exportal, and he had also the issue. And so I bought eGold for him on Binance, and I will help him today with Exportal. And if I will see any issue, I will make a recording video and I will send it to the team. So I'm in the touch with the team only for this purpose. And the second purpose is I contacted communities from Boys Club, from Brad, Andy, Pepe, and others. And I had some interesting discussion how I will be able to bring huge liquidity. I'm talking about billions of dollars in meme coins. And I don't like meme coins, but I believe I started to like them from one single reason. Because Elon Musk were right if he starts sharing Dogecoin, and he did it for one purpose, because it's only option how to get people funny about crypto and how to really bring the adoption. So because people don't understand that they cannot buy 0.0000001 Bitcoin, they just think Bitcoin is overpriced and they cannot buy it. That's the reason why he's doing it, and he's, I believe, one of the smartest men on the planet. So I'm starting to understand the Boys Club and community around the Pepe, and I contacted them. What we can do, guys, to move billions of dollars also to Multiverse, so everyone will start talking about that. And they have some interesting questions about how we can put smart contracts on exchange and these things. And we find out that there is there is not option to have buy tax and sell tax, which is very important for these guys, at least until they will announce the contract, because it's basically how it works on Ethereum. And and I find out, or not me, but they find out that it's not possible. So I asked them to make incident, like not incident, but report in PDF, and I send it to the team. And I'm waiting for core developers' response, if it will be possible to do that or not. And then I will answer them, and I will try to bring them at least one big whale that can start something, because I don't have time for this, and we need them, because they have huge communities on Discord, and also they are doing spaces. And for example, right now we have 33 spaces here, and we are talking about 33 people online, and we are talking about the best technology in the space. But they have like 1,000 people in the spaces, and they are talking about meme coin, and that's the issue. So we need them to have in our community also, because if we don't have them, we can wait the next 10 years until liquidity will go to MBX. And I'm not here to wait next 10 years. I'm willing to do something for it.
Thank you, Daniel. My last question, and after I will let my friends, if they have, or the community, of course, feel free to ask your questions or to say a word about EGLDSqueeze. You frequently attack Solana in your post in favor of EGLD and MultiversX ecosystem. Do you think it's the best way to attract people to MultiversX by attacking the competitors?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I don't think I attack Solana. I just write a tweet about arrogance and learning, because I spoke with some guys from Solana. And issue on this is that I told them the most dangerous trait in the world is that it is impossible for man to learn what he thinks he already know. And if you believe you are like the best and you have all knowledge, then you are setting yourself up to the failure. And that's what I'll say. And I only don't like the founder, because anytime he have a discussion about sharding, he's just joking and laughing, and he don't go to like real discussion, like real like podcast interview, like where people can actually share, because I think we should be united together in Web3. So I don't will plan to hate them. And also, it's my only personal opinion, and I'm not the movement. I'm just guy that don't like Solana, and I have 1,000 reasons for that. And one reason is FTX. The second is the ban that steal money from the people like us. He is basically criminal. He manipulated the whole market, and he also went down with ICP because he started shorting it in the terms of heavy selling because he wants to promote Solana and he was connected to Solana core team. So I don't trust even one fucking word to anyone from core team Solana, and it's only my personal opinion. I'm just not hating anyone. I'm just saying I don't like the co-founder. I think he's arrogant. I love people from Near, for example. I like people from other chains and Layers 1 like Algorand, Near, and founders because they are polite, they are honest, they are actually care about decentralization and not saying like, boy, vertical scaling, I can do everything. No, you can't. Just check the requirements for nodes on MultiversX or Algorand and then compare them with Solana. Your grandma will don't be able to be validator, but on MVX soon, even your grandma will be able to be validator because the requirements for nodes are so low, so everyone can participate and everyone can join the decentralization, and that's why I'm here.
Thank you, Daniel, for your answers. Philippe?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Daniel, for this presentation. Honestly, a pleasure to hear you and to have you there today. Thanks a lot for the movement of this EGLDSqueeze. I mean, like, as a EGLD holder, that's always nice, when the price go a bit better than the market. So I will say thank you for that. I mean, like, to initiate this movement, but also, on the community and everyone listening and participating to that. So that for thanks. I think just to highlight a little the last question from Jerome regarding the fight with the other blockchain. I think I made also the same conclusion on my own, is like there is a problem in communication and understanding because the architectures are really different. For example, when you talk about charging, the problematic of chargings, this problematic doesn't exist on MultiversX, in fact, because of the token standard. The fact that everything is at protocol level, MultiversX is not the only one, but I think is the most advanced regarding charging and regarding sovereign chain and all these things, but that's not the subject. But the idea is like there's a problem of communication with other chain builders because they don't have the same approach of the problematic that we have. And that's one of the reasons, for example, what I was explaining at the beginning, Jerome, I don't know if you were there, Daniel, but regarding the video that I'm doing, the idea is really to simplify the communication and the explanation of how the technology evolved compared to the environment of Ethereum, ERC20, and all these things. And the discussion that I see really are about that. I mean, I don't know if you have the same feeling, Daniel, but when Jerome talk about screaming, is like maybe because we fight about technical term. That means maybe not so much to a lot of people, but the problematic, I think, is in the comprehension. Do you agree with that, at least, Daniel?
Thank you so much for everything you say. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And I'm not sure if I understand the question well. Can you tell
Okay.
me?
My question, to make it clear, is like the problematic on Twitter and all the discussion, like the fight, like Jerome was saying earlier, it's about like the misunderstanding of the difference in architecture. If you read the white paper and all these things, that's one of the reasons for me, for example, that I have a hard time to move out of MultiversX. I mean, like in terms of technology point of view, is because of the token standard, for example, everything is at protocol level, the capacity to scale out, the fact that we will have 1 second in finality. All these different elements are hard to apprehend, I think, for the other chain, as long as they don't try it themselves and check the technology and the white paper. At least make the effort to understand the evolution of the technology since ERC20. Do you think it's one of the aspects, in fact, one of the main reasons, because they still think in terms of monolithic architecture instead of sharded infrastructure, and in fact, having this mindset, in fact, make it difficult to understand our approach and our advantages on MultiversX?
I'm not sure if I understand too, but I will try it. I definitely agree that there is an issue to explain someone or even just average developer that just writing the code in TypeScript, for example, and don't understand their architecture, because there is a difference between be developer and using PJP or TypeScript or Rust, and there is a difference between someone who is really architect, mathematician, cryptographic, and someone who is like DevOps guy that can build application from A to Z to the scratch and thinking about architecture, for example, like Vitalik. But I believe it's a huge topic, as you mentioned, and it will be very hard to explain them. So we must prove them. That's first thing. A second thing, we must have a lot of fun around this. That's why I start this movement to be more funny and don't overcomplicate things. Because if we will just find 1 million people that will download X Portal and buy eGold for $100 or $10, whatever, and they will buying for $5 each day, we can create easily our own bull run, and we don't must care about BTC price. And now you don't believe me, but look at the GameStop, look at the any stock market. The eGold can be completely away from the crypto. If we will reach 1 million true holders that will stake the network, we will achieve 70% more, and we will use it. That's first thing. Second thing about Solana. Long story short, the issue is that I'm not expert. I am not IT guy. I have 10 employees that are experts in the tech, and they are still in Web 2. Like I mentioned, we're using Kubernetes and very large architecture because we have multi-vendor, multi-tenant, multi-language, multi-tenancy, our open source system using for next generation of Shopify, and we are building the e-commerce website here. So they know something about architecture. And what I can say is, from what I find out, Solana maintains the low fees because huge inflation, huge printing, that first thing, and second thing, because they are scaling vertically. And it's all bad, and that's the reason why they have more than 11 downtime. And if you will need to convince me to be holder of Solana, my first question will be, if I will have $1 billion, which there are whales that have more than $1 billion of Solana, should I stay here, or can you convince me to have $1 billion on Solana? Probably not. Because if you will tell me it was down more than 11 times, I will tell you, okay, maybe it will be better to have in New York bank in United States and just holding the fiat. And Solana have even unlimited inflation, same as fiat, and it's for me, it's just web 2. Because if something can be easily manipulated by VCs, and if something can be down for so long, I cannot hold a huge amount of money here. So I must move away. And that's my point about the Solana, and nobody still don't convince me.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, Philippe?
No, I wanted to say I have a similar point of view on that regarding the scalability on Solana and also the layer 2 on Ethereum. Just as an investor, if I can ask, how much do you plan to put as a percentage of your wallet on MultiversX? If it's fine for you to share that, because personally I'm exposed to MultiversX, because the rest of the technology is a little boring, I think, and we need to make it more fun on MultiversX also. But regarding that, what do you think in the future, in fact, will be the landscape, maybe between Solana and MultiversX?
Sorry, I'm not sure if I get it. You mean how much I will buy, or if I will be long term here, or?
Yeah, not long term, but the term of in terms of all your portfolio, maybe how do you plan, in fact, to redistribute your assets regarding the entire ecosystem, Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin? Because I see that you're an investor, and you understand the market
I will
quite
be
well.
honest with you guys. I sell everything, and I'm 95% on eGold. I still have some near because it was the second one, layer 1 that I believe, because they are working on the sharding and they will also have it soon. But after I tried to have validators agencies also on near, and I use their native wallet, and I try to discover another wallet, I find out that it's not ready for adoption. It's just genius guys talking, same as Vitalik. And I can recognize the nerds, and I can recognize the next Steve Jobs. And that's my investment thesis. You know, like you can have the best, you can have 1,000 developers wearing a t-shirt with you know with animals and doing great job. I appreciate that, but if we need to have mass adoption, we need to have someone who will think as Steve Jobs. And Steve Jobs told one day, "Hey, I need to create iPad. I need to create iPhone, and I need that if I will fly to Africa and I will need to help 5 years old kid that never saw internet or any device, and I would like to help him to learn and study and school and educate and show him the internet. I need a device that 5 years old kid will start using in a minute he will intuitively knows what he can do and how he can do that. And I have two sons, 5 years old, and I know how fast they can basically start working on iOS devices because they cannot do nothing. There are no hacks, and they just can use it. They, you know, even start YouTube by themselves. But this is not definitely possible on Layers 2 and on MetaMask and Ethereum because it's full of shit. It's full of hacks. It's full of drains. Every day I read a tweet when someone lost more than $10,000. Every fucking day. And I'm crying for these people because these people have their net worth, their hard worked, earned money. And the CEO, or not CEO, like the guy that start Solana Labs, he's, I think, don't care because I saw discussion and it was like, for me, a little bit like arrogancy and sarcastic. And I just don't like it because this people money, we need to change this. We need to prevent the hacks. And that's why Xportal and Guardian and everything is here.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you very much for this conversation, this interview. Daniel, wish you the best for you and for EGLDSqueeze movement. Yeah, I hope you continue what you do, and yeah, many surprises to come, you said.
Yeah, thank you so much. I will continue. I will push hard. And if you guys will have any tip, any advice, or you will think I'm doing something bad, for example, as you mentioned that, or if you asked me if it's good way to little bit trolling Solana. I don't know, guys. You can give me advices. And if you will think I'm doing anything that can negatively affect eGold or our movement, just let me know.
Okay.
Sorry, and I will learn from that. I need your advices, and if you will have any tip for EGLDSqueeze or what I should do, or you can how we can help, just please write me on the Telegram. You will find me here or here, and let's have an interesting conversation.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Daniel. Take care, and yeah, see you soon on GM Web3 and on X, of course. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. So, let's move to the last part of this Twitter space, and let's review what we discovered about XOXNO's management of royalties. So I will make a short introduction, and after everybody, of course, can jump to tell their opinion or to ask questions or to answer questions, of course. So let's recall that XOXNO is the first marketplace on MultiversX and recently raised funds through MultiversX Launchpad. The project involves evolving their marketplace, but also developing an on-chain ticketing system, innovative liquid staking, and so on. Let's also recall that the UI and UX of the marketplace has been completely revamped, and it's, in my opinion, truly excellent. The airdrop for early users went perfectly, and the Launchpad was a success for XOXNO with an over subscription of more than 4.5x. So it was somewhat less successful for MultiversX and its Launchpad, as it attracted the fewest investors with 40% fewer than the previous one, Tada, and 3 times fewer than the one before. It was Hatem. So last night we discovered that they plan to convert NFT creators' royalties into their token, the XOXNO token, then liquid stake it to obtain XOXNO, so the liquid staking token of XOXNO, before making it available to NFT creators who will have to claim it to retrieve their funds. This raises questions about their right to convert royalties that don't belong to them, the exchange risk between EGLD and XOXNO, the complexity for creators to obtain a locked token, and accounting issues. Which value will be considered, the value of EGLD at the time of sale or the value of XOXNO at the time of withdrawal? Additionally, this decision was made without consulting the builders, seems like, and there is no mention of this forced conversion in the white paper except on an infographic that I shared on my account yesterday in the evening. So we understand XOXNO's interest in promoting its token and benefiting all its holders, as this will create constant buying pressure, but also high volatility when NFT creators will sell their XOXNO to recover their assets. Some projects have already expressed their disagreement, notably Kowat, which will delist all its NFTs until a better model is found. So that's how I see the situation. But of course, I would like to challenge it, like always, with you guys. So I repeat, feel free to take the mic, to write your opinion or question in the comment section, and we'll try to answer them as precisely as possible. Philippe?
Yeah, no, thanks for the presentation, Jerome. I mean, I invite everyone to check out your tweets. I mean, you also make a nice review of the white paper a few weeks ago, but yeah, like you say, probably the information was a little hidden in the white paper and all the information that they throw. It was a lot of documents with nice graphics. I mean, so it's always easy to lose yourself. But it seems like no one saw it. After regarding that, I think it's one of the problematic of blockchain. I mean, to be entirely honest with you, I mean, it's one of the things that cannot be forced what it should still be. I mean, like, let me explain a little. I mean, it's for me, the royalties are part of the ecosystem. That means when you create an NFT collection, the royalties are also part of the tokenomic, part of the business model, part of how the ecosystem are working. A lot of projects base part of the revenue on that, or at least the first part of it, when there's a lot of liquidity, a lot of movement, and that the price rise a little high. So that's something that you should not neglect for a lot of projects that start NFTs collection and put them on this marketplace. I don't have the details, to be honest, and maybe that's something that we can get clarification from you or from people in the audience. But the amount, in fact, how the calculation is done, maybe they put a bonus on top, that kind of things, and that could be an incentive to come on their platform. I mean, at the moment, there is not so much competition, so that could be seen as abuse of monopoly, maybe, but that's not the point. I mean, that's how the market is, and I'm not blaming anyone. But the thing is, like, that's also part of the game to decide on which marketplace you list your NFTs, and what are the consequences of your listing. I mean, if the way is to raise, to put in a pool, to create benefits, to benefit the entire ecosystem of all the creators, and at the end you get more than just a small fee that will come, or the small royalties that you will have on your project, maybe by making vote about some project that will get a bonus or that kind of thing. That could be a gamification. So I'm not that judgy at the moment. I think that in any case, that's how the game is. The fact that royalties are not at the protocol level, that's something that could be done. Maybe we can discuss that with Joaquim, but that's not the subject today. The idea is royalties like at the discretion of the marketplace to follow the rules, more or less. I mean, as much as we like it, it's like that. What XOXNO is doing is like, we will use these fees to create a new mechanism, in fact, but by still redistributing the things at the end. So I'm not 100% negative. I think it's how it is. Maybe we should wait and see what XOXNO will do for that. And maybe at the end it will be better benefits because some other fees will come to inject into that. And maybe if your collection make some visibility, you will get some bonus. That could be a gamification and implication of the community even more by adding some tools. Why not? That depends what service they had on top. At the end, the NFT owner will know that, and they will make decision regarding that. I mean, like, so after it's a choice that need to be done and, benefits and risk. I think at the moment we still need to wait and dig a little more, except if someone has more information on that.
Thank you, Philip. And yes, it's interesting to understand that the current situation is that the marketplace collects royalties on behalf of creators and are supposed to redistribute them. A bit like VAT in France, for example. You know, the company collect the tax, and after the company has to give it back to the state. So the marketplace can do what they like with these funds until they're claimed by the projects. Joaquim?
So I know Adam is in the audience, and I would love to have his point of view too. But just to, I'll start with what you just said. The old version of XOXNO did that inside that same transaction. When you bought an NFT, the values were split or were sent directly. So the smart contract was responsible for splitting. So as soon as a sale took place, the project received the royalty straight away in the currency that it got bought. So we could take the example of like if an NFT was bought in USDC, then it would receive 1/10 in USDC if it was a 10% royalty. So like that was quite straightforward. As Philip was saying, it's not on protocol level, sadly. I don't know about any blockchain that has this on protocol level, but it has to do with respecting, basically. For me, it has to do with respecting the core values of Web3, and royalties are part of that. We had NFTR, yeah, marketplace that launched and was kind of saying like, screw royalties, you don't have to pay royalties with us, and it didn't work out very well. Not many people use it because, well, as a project, you're not incentivized to promote a marketplace that is kind of screwing you over just to give a higher margins. And we're not going to do the whole royalties topic, but again, like when you buy an NFT, you know the royalties it has, and if you're not happy with these royalties, you shouldn't buy this NFT. It's part of the game. When it comes to XOXNO's decision to do XOXNO, because it's S but it's L on mainnet, from what I understand, I'm really not a fan. Because it's not an opt-in or opt-out option. It's forced. As you say, it's not done per transaction now. It is done once a day, from what I understood in the chat, in the developer chat we have on Telegram. And it's so then once a day it buys XOXNO with those royalties and then distribute them. As you say, like, it creates buying pressure for a token and for the holders, and for XOXNO in itself, it's perfect. But not for the projects. And for me, that is kind of like one. Then I reread the whole white paper and I was like, where are we talking about creators? Where are we talking about projects on XOXNO, on MultiversX? Where are we talking about wanting people to create new projects and incentivizing them to do so? And I couldn't find anything about that. And I was like, isn't that the whole purpose of a marketplace, is to grow the pie so we get more builders, more projects, and therefore they obviously get their marketplace fees and more of those, but also builders feel rewarded for building on MVX instead of like creating even more like specific rules because there is only one big actor in the space. But I see Adam has joined the speaker, so I'll stop here.
Thank you, Joaquim. Yeah, we receive Adam from XOXNO team. Hello, Adam. How are you?
Yeah, hi guys, hi everybody. I just joined because I saw your post about this thing, and I just kept wondering, when you did the review, how could you have missed it? I mean, it's right there, and it's even a picture, so it's written. I mean, you know what they say, like, if you cannot understand something,
please,
yeah, wait.
Adam.
If you cannot understand something, let me draw it for you. And if you don't understand it after, it's a little bit funny.
You will have time to explain this, and I'm really happy to have you this morning. But first, about the fact that I missed it. First of all, everybody missed it. So when the message is not well understood, maybe this is because the message was not well sent. And especially about the royalties part, let's be clear. I searched on the white paper the terms royalty and royalties, and they are only mentioned once on the white paper on the NFT ticketing system. So the only way to know this was to check very precisely your infographic, and you need to accept and to admit that this mechanism is a huge mechanism for the sustainability of the token, since it creates a huge purchase pressure on the token, and you never wrote it on the white paper. No paragraph, no sentence, no wording about this. So yeah, you're right. It was mentioned on the infographic, but only on the infographic. Nowhere on the white paper. So please admit it was hidden, because I think, and that it's one of my questions for you. So if you agree, I have some questions for you, so you can take the time to explain this, and maybe at the end of this conversation we will understand why you chose this mechanism, and maybe you will convince us. We are fully open to this. So first, if you agree, Adam, first question: did you consult your customers, the builders that use your marketplace before making this decision?
So let me take it with the first things that you said. First of all, the infographic, it's also part of the white paper. So people, when they read the white paper, they can also check what is described over there and what is pictured. So the infographic was especially made to describe the entire process and the entire flow. Second of it, Mihai did spoke about it in some of the spaces where you unfortunately could not actively participate, and you know what I mean by saying that. So it was explained, I think even in the space with Sever in the X Launchpad thing. Now, moving on this topic, right? So the marketplace and everything that comes from there, including the artists, are participating in the accumulator. You are correct, but that's not the only thing that the accumulator gains, right? So you have the marketplace, you have the launchpad, lending and borrowing, liquid staking, and the ticketing platform. So all those things go into the entire mechanism, to say so, right? This is the first thing. The second thing, you asked me if we discussed this with the creators before implementing this model. And what I can say is that we have over 1,600 collections launched through XOXNO. So we have over 1,600 creators. We couldn't physically or in any way be able to contact all of them and discuss with them. So I want to give you some,
maybe the biggest
I want to
one?
give you, how can you say the biggest one or the lowest one? It's different
easy.
market,
Just
different
check the
hype
volume.
collections. The volumes can also be fake sometimes. What is funny from my side is the fact that people jumped so hard on judging this implementation, even if it was out there for, I think, 1.5 months, since the entire thing went public. Nobody asked anything. Once it went live,
because you've taken the time to write, you've taken the time to write every part of this infographic in the white paper. Everything was described except this one. So nobody knew.
We still have some things to develop. For example, I know Davey at some point, he said that he doesn't have too many details regarding the DeFi part. And we will have extra documentation on each module at the right time of the release. Now, if nobody knew, I think this says a lot about how interested projects are in what other projects are development, or how interested they are on a platform where they trade, and how they, and this is a general thing, so I'm not speaking about projects right now. But how interested people are in a thing until it affects them directly, even if they use it daily. Now I'm going to give you some alpha to calm the spirits down a little bit. So yes, projects at first cannot opt out from this protocol. But in the same time, we thought about this, that we will receive this type of feedback, even if on the long run, accumulating royalties in locked XOXNO will benefit everybody, from the projects first, then the users, and then the entire ecosystem, and why not to admit it, the XOXNO token as well. So it's nothing that we don't want to be transparent about it. It's part of the protocol that we thought about, and as you know, we always thought about the entire ecosystem, and we've supported multiple NFT projects in our 3 years journey since we are here. But projects that receive royalties in locked XOXNO and that don't want to keep that locked XOXNO, they will be able to swap it directly. We'll have a special pool for it, right? That will be deployed in the next couple of days. Depends on some things, because as you know, we had the launch pads, we have a lot of work volume on multiple parts, starting from, Discord tickets regarding the airdrop to releasing new things and fixing new bugs, or different things in the new UI UX. By the way, if you identify any bugs or on the new website, please join the Telegram or the Discord and report them. That will help us a lot, and I do hope you like it. So yeah, we do have the creators in mind, but what's funny from my side is that the first creators who jumped on this topic, and they were the most vocal, were the ones that we previously helped. And they just saw, I don't get my EGLD royalties right now. I get locked XOXNO. What's this? No, I want my EGLD back so I can, dump them or swap them or what?
Okay. So, in concrete terms, just to be precise for everyone, what will be the procedure for creators to recover their EGLDs?
They'll have a pool and they will be able to swap it directly. So they'll swap the locked XOXNO token back into, EGLD.
But what about the slippage risk for this pool?
Nah, I'll have to discuss with Mihai about it. I don't want to give you any false information, and it's not my expertise field to say so I cannot comment about it, but it will be a fair ratio since they can swap it directly.
Okay. Philip?
Yeah, hello Adam, thanks for coming today.
Hi Philip.
Honestly, it's a pleasure to have you. Even the circumstances are maybe not the best, but still, it's not really the problem. Regarding the white paper, it's kind of clear in the graphic, but after it's true that in the text, it's kind of, part is maybe missing, explaining what are the benefits and advantages. Me, I would say one of the solutions that could help, because Well, like we discussed, I think you were there already. What I stated earlier regarding the royalty, but are not at protocol level, so it's at the discretion of the marketplace, and that's a responsibility that I think that incomes to the marketplace to follow at the end. But I mean, I totally agree that a system that gets some XOXNO tokens instead, put them into a pool, like have some mechanism and gamification, more advantages, all these things makes totally sense. And if you want to evolve and that the marketplace grow and propose more product, more solution for the content creators and all these things, you need to have some mechanism like that to get some liquidity. Me, the only thing that I would like, I mean, honestly, the only thing that I would like you to implement, let's see, maybe discuss with the creators, the main project, how the things can be accessed. But the fact is that I can have a choice, maybe like you said, to switch them directly to eGold, but in fact to just keep the whole system. So I will have a switch button on my collection as the owner saying if I want to participate into the liquid pool, okay, or if I want to follow the whole system and get the royalty directly on the currency that the payment has been done. And I mean, by doing that, I think you can enfantasize the owner by checking this button and injecting it into the liquid pool by giving him some advantages, maybe less fees for XOXNO, maybe some advanced feature, maybe a way to be referenced a little better in the research bar, like all these different elements that in fact incentive people to get more visibility by participating to the ecosystem. This kind of approach for me would be more acceptable than forcing people doing this double swap, in fact, by using the pool, paying fees. I mean, it's not the point of the royalty to pay fees for the people that own the platform. I mean, but giving the choice, in fact, and convince them by advantages would be maybe a better and a wiser way to approach the problematic, I think.
Yeah, what wonders me is that we have so many projects that build so many different things and they have NFTs integrated. And let's take Qbot, for example, because I saw in GRN's post, Hugo was the most vocal one. And I want to ask you a question. If your project, so you're building a project that is not focused solely on NFTs, so it's not an art project, it's not a community project or anything. You're building a business and then you implement NFTs as a part of the ecosystem that you've developed. If you rely so much on those royalties, isn't
okay,
isn't there a flow? Wait. I mean, from my point of view,
wait, okay.
No. I was trying to find my words and not saying, in the meantime. But yeah, so if a project that has a business behind relies so much on royalties, isn't there a flow somewhere?
I mean, it does. After I just just to answer to a question, I think it depends on the project. It depends also on the period, and that's why I think giving the choice to the project to give up his royalty to get additional benefits in marketing or in development or stuff like that, or visibility from your platform, that will make entirely sense. But some projects really rely on their royalty, and that would be somehow hard for them, while maybe 80% will just agree to go on the pool, and the problem is resolved just by having the choice.
And to add on this, royalties are part of the business model. And they are sales in unaccountable terms, and they count in the company's valuation. So that's not what you're talking about, because royalties don't belong to you. And it's the role of every project owner to defend its business model. And it's not, in my opinion, it's not to you to say what is the best business model for every project. So royalties are part of the game, and you cannot just say, okay, no matter the royalties, it's not a good business model for project, and actually we can do what we want with them.
No, it was just a general topic without me, so I'm just Adam, not representing XOXNO right now. But okay. I know this was
topic, definitely.
I know this topic was raised before. Sorry, Joaquim. I know this topic was raised before in other communities as well, not just on MultiversX. This royalties topic overall. But I just want to add this. Basically, when we integrated the royalties into the accumulator part, Mihai has the numbers. I don't have them, but I know that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of e-gold gathered from different collections as royalties, whom they never claimed. So it's just EGLD sitting there in the royalty smart contract of that collection. So when we developed this mechanism, it was thought in a way where creators could actually get an accumulated value through the interest-bearing token of locked XOXNO, right? Beside that, you can also distribute. So if you have an NFT project or your plan with royalties is to, I don't know, buy back your own token from the market and then distribute it to your holders. Or if you want to swap them to, if you gather EGLD and you distribute royalties to your holders each month or whenever you want to distribute them or do whatever campaigns, you could do the same with locked XOXNO as well. And you could actually help the entire ecosystem if you are in for the ecosystem growth.
Yeah, but like some projects claim their royalties and distribute them to their community, Project X, for example, while others rely on this money to develop their project. But either way, because it's not your money, so why decide for them? And after I let you speak, Joaquim, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Joaquim.
Because I feel like you're kind of like deflecting in a sense the real issue, because then you start talking about business models of NFTs, etc. And like, yes, this is a very interesting topic, and I would love to have this topic with you on the importance of royalties in a business plan. But the real topic, as James said, is like royalties belong to the project, and the rule of royalties as has been designed and has been agreed upon since the launch of NFTs basically is that the percentage that is written, it is written on protocol level even if it's not implemented on protocol level, is that percent of whatever the coin used for a transaction is supposed to go to a project. And yes, I'm well aware of the fact that for some projects that have a smart contract that deployed and is therefore the creator and owner of the collection, can't be payable, etc., and that you have had to keep that money. That is another topic, and that is one of the limitations of non-payable smart contracts. And again, but it doesn't take away from the fact that there are projects that, and most projects count on royalties as part of the revenue, and you've unilaterally decided that no, from now on, you're not going to receive X percent in the token that was used during the transaction. You're going to receive it in a locked token that we are the ones creating and that benefit us as a marketplace. And for me, it is kind of like, as Philip was saying earlier, just taking advantage of the fact that you are the main marketplace with most of the volume that allows you to take such a decision, which if you were a smaller actor, you wouldn't be able to, because people would simply go elsewhere, as we've seen with other marketplaces. So I honestly think it is something you should reconsider for the purpose of creator, and as Philip said, like create it as a bonus that people will want to switch their program instead of being enforced to. Because we were talking about co-op, but as we know in the developer chat, there were comments by Cyber Network and there were comments about the CEO of eApes too. So it's not a couple collection. We're actually talking, and obviously Project X, we're talking about quite a lot of big projects on MDX that are expressing their doubts or concerns about such a model that has been decided as, again, unilaterally.
Yeah, I'm wondering, what would the community pay? So what would the holders would agree to pay? So if we set, for example, custom royalties for the community to decide how
You're deflecting again. You're deflecting again.
We're not
That's
deflecting.
not what we're talking about. Yes,
no.
Because NFTR did that. NFTR said you can pick 0% royalties, and projects and community agreed that they didn't want to support such platform because it was going against the essence of NFT. You can't say, oh, but we could make it dynamic and then projects will receive less than what they received in XOXNO. The point was, a few days ago, people were still receiving their tokens as it was agreed upon, which is 1% of the purchase price, and now you switched it. And yeah, you can compare it, it could be worse. everything could always be worse, but that's not the point. The point is you've changed to something that gives less freedom to the project.
You have the same freedom. You can just swap the lock. I said earlier, you can swap the locked XOXNO and get the same amount of e-gold that you would have normally received, and then do whatever you want with it. If you want to receive e-gold,
that. I'm sorry, you can't guarantee that, because one thing is, let's say I own a collection and someone buys an NFT for 1 EGLD and I have 10%. So I'm supposed to receive 0.1 EGLD, right? But you're waiting for the end of the day because, as Mihai said, it's going to happen once a day. So once a day, all those EGLDs and other coins will be used to convert to XOXNO. So there's going to be it could be a difference in price between when my NFT got sold and when it gets swapped. So you can't guarantee the price. And again, there's a lock period of 10 days. So you're saying you're going to change it. Sure, I'll wait to see that. But as of now, there is a 10 period where the price could fluctuate, where I can't decide. And again, it becomes a core for me, a shore for me. I have to convert those tokens if I want to, when in the past it was just granted as the token it was sold in, which in majority was EGLD.
And many projects claim their royalties like once a week or once a month, for example. But with this system, they will have to claim them every day. Projects are busy enough to add obligation such like this, because imagine if I claim my royalty at the end of the month, like I did before. I spoke with the Globis founder yesterday, and he does that. He claims his royalties every month. Okay, imagine he does that. So he will claim a lot of XOXNO token, and he will want to recover his EGLD. So it will make a huge sailing pressure on your pool, and of course there will be slippage, so he will lost in this operation. What do you think about this?
Yeah, again, I cannot comment on how the pool will be set because this is something very technical that I cannot deep dive into it the same as Joaquim can do. So again, I don't want to give my opinion on something that I'm not 100% sure about it.
Sure.
But yeah.
But what about the new obligation for creators to claim every 24 hours to be pretty sure not to?
We had. It's not about that. If you look at if you study that image, and I love the fact that Felipe at some point kind of get it. If you study that image, you will see that the value of those locked XOXNO will increase from, let's say you are a project owner, right? So you get right now, you just get EGLD from, the royalties. You get the royalties from the, collection, from your collection, right? But right now, by receiving locked XOXNO, you're actually getting a part of everything that it's traded, because part of the XOXNO accumulator is the marketplace. And then you also get you basically get a part from the entire modules that we deployed, right? So you'll get a part from the marketplace, you'll get a part from the launchpad, lending, liquid staking, ticketing when it's going to be deployed, and everything else. So basically, the system is thought in a way where you will actually get more value, and you will, let's say, put those royalties to work from you, for you,
okay,
right?
That's interesting.
Because the entire ecosystem thrives, right? So you are correct. If you were to, in the old system, you would get your EGLD, you can claim it whenever you want. Today, weekly, monthly, yearly, whenever you want. But you would be stuck with the royalties just from your collection. What XOXNO does, or SXOXNO, but we thought we're going to change it because SXOXNO, it's a little bit confusing to pronounce. So that's why we went with LXOXNO.
Okay.
What it does is you basically get more value through everything that it's deployed and through the accumulator. So it's basically like, if the ecosystem thrives and if the projects, sorry, it doesn't come to my mind. If the projects continue to develop and bring value to its users and collections are traded and we have new launches and people will use the lending and borrowing and the liquid staking and everything else, then of course you will have more value from those royalties. Beside that, you can also use the locked XOXNO in the lending and borrowing protocol when it's going to be fully deployed. So a project can right now start and play with those royalties in a way that would maybe benefit more its users, right? Or they can have a DAO system where they can vote on what to do with those tokens, the same that you could do with XOXNO. And one last thing that I want to add, we did had a lot of creators who were coming at us and they were asking to use their token for trading, right? It was good for them to receive the royalties in a different token and us to receive the fee. Now that we give them a different token, it's a big problem for them, you know? And again, it's funny.
Theirs. And because it's their royalties. So it makes sense.
Yeah, but it's still funny. And after 3 years of developing right here on the chain and putting, let's say, our money where our mouth is and helping the entire ecosystem to thrive, right now it was just the NFT collections. But along the way, we without leaving the modesty aside a little bit, and please don't take it as a brag, but you personally know, and each one of us know, that we helped a lot of projects with different custom implementations, with launching, with support in any way that we could right now. So this coming as a backfire to us when the actual idea was to basically help the entire ecosystem.
I think you take it too personally.
Funny.
Because everybody
I take it
helps.
personally.
And
of course I take it personally, Jerem.
And I think you should not, because everyone helps everyone on MultiversX. Everyone, okay? Joaquim does, Philip does.
I wouldn't agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah, Joaquim and Philip, yes, but I wouldn't say everybody helps everybody.
I do, and a lot of people helps everyone on MultiversX because we are a very helpful community, and you know it. So that's very good that XOXNO does his part in this, and we don't doubt about this. We are just focusing on these features and not the whole ecosystem that you're building and all what you've done these last years. So let's be concrete and focus on this topic, if you don't mind. And I would like to go from an accounting and legal point of view. I don't know if you are competent in this.
I'm not a lawyer and I'm not an accountant, so I cannot rely on that. But we did work with a law.
Okay, so it will be interesting for you and for XOXNO team to give some precision about the right for you to proceed with this conversion using money that don't belong to you. Would be very interesting to have legal opinion or something that is clear that you can do what you do. And second, will you assist project with their tax declarations? Because when a project receives a royalty, it's a part of the turnover of the project. It's clear on the accountable thing. But if it's not just a royalty, but also part of the whole accumulator, and maybe it can the price can be different than the percentage of a royalty that is implementing in the accountable thing, maybe it can be really difficult for the project. And I'm not talking about Degen's project. I'm talking about like a regulated and serious project that are using XOXNO marketplace at the moment. And you can trust me. Really, believe me, the concerns are not like personal. It's really business, accountable and legal thing. And that's why I think there is a topic about this. But if you guys at XOXNO consulted lawyers and accountable experiment people, and that can give answers to the builders, I'm really sure that the project will at the end support the new mechanism. So if it's not part of your skill, and I totally understand this, I will not ask you your opinion about this, but this is just an advice. Please take the time to be educative and to explain what will be the consequences in terms of legal and tax declarations for the project, because you spoke about COAT, and it's not just about this revenue, because they have so many other revenue stream, but in their regulation and in their accountable thing, they really need clarification about this. So yeah, that's just my piece of advice. Philippe, your hand was raised. Maybe Adam, you want to answer? No problem.
Yeah, so I cannot offer a 100% legal advice on it, since I'm not a lawyer or an accountant. But I do know that once we'll have the entire KIC for creators implemented, and especially for the ticketing system, we will have an automatically invoicing system for selling, trading the NFTs, trading the tickets, trading everything. So yeah, there is an implementation from this point of view, but until we have the entire flow and everything else, I cannot go into any other details.
But that's a very interesting point, that project will be able to claim a detail for tax declaration. That's will be very, very welcome for sure. Philippe, and after Joaquim.
No, thanks, Adam, for your answers. I mean, like I was saying a few weeks ago when we were talking before the launchpad also, I'm supporting quite a lot the idea of an ecosystem for ticketing system, an application, like the design for the app, everything. You honestly, well done, guys. I mean, it's a really good job. Regarding the help on the ecosystem, I mean, you are also here since the very beginning. I mean, after saying that you're alone, you noticed me, so it's fine, but take care on saying that. But no, I think I'm really to come back on the base of blockchain and ownership, and I'm also a little scared that other blockchain can use this kind of action and things. In fact, I mean, like to get negative opinion on us. I really think, to be honest, that you need to leave the choice. So if you can get the iconography in front of you, the graphic that Jerem put, just to have a lane straight from the royalty to the owner, to the creator, and after that's your job to convince them to go into your system by providing either your pool, by making a partnership with AutoScale, by providing the simplification of the tax, or at the end you just manage the things, the investment and the tax for them, so they don't have to care, and you give them a revenue. That could be definitely a solution that makes sense. But I think, and please just answer to that question, just to be clear, because you kind of escaped it earlier. Like, do you think that it's possible to give the choice on the NFT owner to go through this way or through the original way that was there before? Do you think there is an open door for that in your team? Is there a discussion, or at the moment it's completely closed for some reason? Maybe you want to grow, maybe you want to use this monopoly. I mean, I don't know, but the idea is, like, do you think that there's a door open? I think it would be really beneficial for the ecosystem, and as you say, as you're helping the ecosystem, you should also show the example on how things should be done, and I think that's how should be done in the Web3. Don't you think?
Yeah, again, it's not my field of expertise to give my opinion on this.
Point of view,
yeah, personal point of view. I mean, if you have the automatically swap going back to the old ecosystem, like receiving and getting your eagle back, I think that would be the solution. Again, I don't know at a smart contract level or implications of how the accumulator was built. We go into technical details where I don't have the capacity to say how this will influence. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we will have a space, especially on this, where Mihai will also join, and maybe from his point of view, and he can develop more on this and have a discussion on it.
Thanks for your answer, Adam. Thanks.
But to end it, before heading over to Joaquim, I would suggest all the projects to, I know it's something that most of the people say, but study how the accumulator works, and don't think, I mean, zoom out a little bit on how locked XOXNO could help and how you can play with it in a way that it wouldn't change how you received royalties up until now, but it actually gives you something extra and more benefits, including you as a creator and also to your community and also to the entire ecosystem, including XOXNO.
And I 100% agree with this, and I think it is a great feature, but it should be an optional feature, not a forced feature. That's where, like, the whole idea of having the option, a bit like we were saying with Hatom, where you can receive token in Hatom for a slightly higher value or because it has certain perks related to it, is great. And I don't see any issue with having that as an option on XOXNO. But it is the fact that you are forcing people's hand and saying it's this or nothing, basically. That
we said
is
it
what
already,
we're being debated
please.
here.
We said it already, please. New things.
So to go back to what we were talking about, as you said, like there's a lot of things to be excited about XOXNO, ticketing, etc. Philippe was making the list, and I think it's great for the whole ecosystem. But as I was saying, in the white paper, we're talking a lot about DeFi, we're talking a lot about ticketing, but is there any like new ways you're planning to interact with projects or bring more visibility to projects on MultiversX? Because I feel like that has kind of been the thing I feel was missing in the white paper, at least from what I've read. Because when we see other ecosystems, we see, for example, Magic Eden is a good example, or even Blur. We're seeing steps taken that are a win-win between the marketplaces and the projects, but who are participating. So again, growing the pie instead of just trying to take a bigger part of what already exists.
Yeah, I don't see how exactly we are taking a bigger part of what exists right now. But yes, we are always open to work together with the projects to bring more visibility to the ecosystem overall. And here we can expand this discussion from what volumes are on Blur and on Magic Eden compared to what volumes are on XOXNO or NFTs in general on MultiversX. But this discussion, we can speak about it for another 1-2 hours. But overall, our plan is, so I want to clarify something because I also saw this question at some point. It's like, okay, but what do the projects get if we use locked XOXNO? Well, you get the platform. I mean, we developed the platform for 3 years right now, and at some point you also mentioned that we kind of have a monopoly on the NFTs in the MultiversX ecosystem, but this didn't came out of nowhere. It's 3 years of hard working, developing, constantly innovating and thinking of new ways of doing it. And of course, without the hiding about it, it's a lot of money that were put in back into the ecosystem and into the development of the marketplace. And honestly, on this topic, I'm really sorry to see that Frameit will no longer exist. Personally, I loved what Frameit did, and it still continues to do up until they will close. I love the fact that you could have launched SFT collections. They had raffles. They have lots of cool things, and I feel bad to see that they closed the business and they will no longer exist. But it was a really hard bear market that affected a lot of projects overall. And I also saw GRMs posting about other projects either closing or leaving MultiversX after this 2.5, almost 3 years of bear market. And yeah, it's been hard. But we keep on pushing. Now, regarding the adoption, and how do we plan to do it? Me personally, I'm very bullish on the ticketing side, because all those event organizers that will come to use our ticketing system, basically when they are going to sell tickets for an event, they are going to sell NFTs without them even knowing. And this is the part where we all say that the adoption will come when people won't know that there's blockchain behind it. And when I say blockchain, it implies NFTs, transactions, smart contracts, whatever you want to name it, right? And yes, that's on what we rely on, bringing new people into the space through the possibilities of an event organizers. So all the tools that we have available for them to customize through the login methods and payment methods that are the same as in Web2. So they don't need to have, I don't know, a special to download X portal or have a special wallet or anything. They can do it, everything from our platform. And from that point of view, we are going to push the most through these events. And basically, when I say events, don't think just at crypto and music events. Whatever implies a ticket, we will go for it and we will present our solution.
Thank you, Adam, for taking the time to answer our questions. We have one last question, not about royalties, but from one member of the community. When will the Bobber tokens be sent to the losing X Launchpad tickets?
I don't have a specific time frame for it. They are going to be sent. We need to do the math. How many tickets were bought, how many winning, non-winning, do the entire thing, and most probably in the next couple of days, but I don't have a specific time frame right now for the Bobber distribution. It's still ongoing. This is
thank you.
Everything that I can say on it.
Thank you very much, Adam. Thank you, really for coming this morning to answer our questions. And I repeat again, really, and I ask you to trust me. Don't take it personally. There are real concerns, and sometimes just with the education and explanation, you can rise these concerns. So thank you again, Adam, and good luck for the rest. And really congrats for the new UI and UX of the platform. It's really better. I posted about it and I repeat it again now. And also congrats for the airdrop because it was really interesting for all of those that received the tokens. So congrats for this.
Yeah, thank you. I originally thought something wrong happened to you when I saw a positive post from your side on XOXNO. Thank you for that. I do want to clarify some aspects also, because regarding the token price, if you go on DEX Screener, unfortunately they took the top. So basically when the token launched, it was listed at on MEXC, it was listed at 0.08, which was the price from CVPad, right? So
the
it was
second launchpad, yes.
Exactly. So it was 007 on X Launchpad, 008 on CVPad, and that's the price that we launched on MEXC. And then on X Launchpad, it was listed at 0.1. We had a huge spike and a huge buy at first. We tried to avoid the bots as much as possible. And if you go and check on eCompass and on just eCompass, you will see the exact price evolution. But if you go and check on DEX Screener took it from actually the top. So it's actually 0.8 something. In terms of launching people, so right now we are sitting at 0.24. Compared to the ticketing price, it's still a 3.5 X, and we still have lots of things to deploy.
Yeah, thank you for this precision. You know that in GM Web3 we don't speak about pricing, but it's an interesting precision. Thank you for giving it.
Yeah, I saw some posts on Twitter and I wanted to clarify this as well.
And you're right.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, thank you again, Adam. Have a very good day. Good luck for the rest. And yeah, we are waiting for the Mihai's reaction about the royalty topic, and I'm sure that he will clarify everything and maybe reassure the NFT creators that have, I think, relevant concerns. Thanks again, and yeah, take care of yourself. See you soon.
See you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, Adam. Yeah, it's the end of this Twitter space. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a pleasure to host it with my friends Joaquim and Philippe. Thank you very much, guys, for being with me this morning. Let's have a new edition of GM Web3 in English next Wednesday, same time, same place. And for the French speaking people, see you on Friday for a new GM Web3 at 10 a.m. UTC with a new news, new guest, and new topic to discuss all together. Thank you very much. Take care of yourself. And please repost the link of the space after it closes. Yeah, you can find, of course, the replay on all podcast platforms, our YouTube channel. Take care and see you soon. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Take care, everyone.